FM26 is officially here, and today we are back to start our Manchester United beta save with a goal of winning the Champions League in just 2 seasons. And if I don't do it, well, I'm going to buy one of you guys a copy of FM26 who comment below and subscribe to the channel on this video. And there will be more challenges throughout the course of this series with more giveaways as well. So make sure you comment down below, but also subscribe to the channel and getting that bell notification on, because FM26 is going to be insane and the Manchester United beta save starts now. And I've of course got ahead and turned off the transfer window activity for season 1 and the in-game editor to make the save as realistic as possible. This is the database we are using, a player count of around 41,000. And then we jump into the manager creation, which has changed so much this year and looks so much better. I've got to say, I'm very impressed by what FM have managed to put together with Unity, as we now have the ability to create our manager. But it goes so much deeper than that. We can pick the fact that we were a lower league veteran. We can pick that I was a first team coach recognised at national level. I of course have a Continental Pro license. And then we get on to our personality. I'm an entertainer, a developer, a tactician. I'm inspirational and resilient. And that is our manager profile as we set up FM26. And that is a big step forward in how things have been previously. And now finally we can start our career as Manchester United's manager, which is insane. How good does it feel to be on FM26, people? I mean, I am so ridiculously hyped. It is insane. And I can't believe we're officially here on FM26. I mean, how beautiful does this look? Now, I didn't play any alpha access. I haven't played the game before. This is my very first time loading up the game. And my God, is it absolutely stunning. Now, I've watched all the videos there is possible to watch. I don't need any tutorials. We'll be going through and checking out the team here at Manchester United. Now, in terms of the tactics, I will be looking at making a fully realistic Ruben Amorim style of play, but we'll get into that later on in the video because, well, we've got Arsenal away first game of the season, as this is a fully up-to-date schedule as well, which is insane to have that in the licensed version of Football Manager. Straight away, just seeing all the player faces for Premier League players is insane. I mean, Sen Alarman, they've added this back. There was rumours the I button wasn't there. Well, here it is on the beta, looking fantastic. We've got Lenny Yoro. Oh, Lenny looks absolutely insane. I'm going to go through absolutely everyone. I want to keep it very basic for this very start. Cobby looks fantastic, will be a big part of this series. And because I'm a Manchester United fan, I want to see youth brought into the team. I want to see entertaining football, as you saw from my player profile. And most importantly, we need to see results. And the only other thing that I'm going to check very quickly is the under 18s and under 21s, because I am very intrigued into who the high potential wonder kids are at United. Jaden Nwashi, Jay McAvoy, Gaduka Konki, Jacob Watson, Charlie Hardy, Daniel Armour and Louis Bradbury and the under 18s. Under 21s, 5-star potential with Harry Yamas. Toby Collier is much better. Chido, just 4-star for him. 13 finishing, 13 composure, only 9 determination, good speed. Maybe not quite as overpowered as he was last year. Amir Abragimov looks fantastic. 3.5-star potential on the youngster. Looking at really good physicals, great mentals as well. He could be a real star. Maybe not in this save, as it is just a 2-season challenge, but you never know. Diego Leon also looks much better than last year. I mean, I can't wait for, a month down the line when FM is officially out to a full United rebuild. Use these youngsters and really get this team to the very top. But let's start off with just going, welcome to Man United. Hi, William. It's great to have you here at United. You meet various people, bloody, blah. We take the hot seat and we are ready to take over the world of football. In terms of supporters, we've got 10 expectations. Play entertaining football, develop players using the club's youth system and become the most reputable team in England once again. That is what we should be. In terms of the board, they want us to work within wage budget, grow the club's reputation and qualify for the Europa League. I mean, we've got a challenge to win the Champions League and this is only going to be a 2-season challenge. I reckon it might go to 3 seasons. The Champions League requirement is only in 2. But for a 2-season challenge, I expect to be Champions League football next season. But that's fine. It means I probably won't get sacked unless I do a Ruben Amorim for first season. Then maybe I will be sacked. But let's hope not. And then we go on to tactics, responsibilities. I'll go through that myself. The squad, we know the lads. Can we introduce ourselves to the boys? I mean, it's just telling us the squads. We know all these players. They're Manchester United players. Now, one thing you may or may not have spotted is the fact that I have turned off the first transfer window. I want this to be as realistic from the very start. There will be no transfers, incomings or outgoings for myself or anyone in the world of football until at least January. And then we can look to go after Carlos Baleba, Elliot Anderson, and a whole bunch of people like that. And I'll be recording that video very soon after this one comes out. So let me know in the comments down below signings you guys want to see for January and beyond in this save. Because if we're going to turn this Manchester United side into a Champions League winner in 2 seasons, well, I need some real superstars to come in. But now I think it is officially time to delve into in-possession and out-of-possession tactics. Now, first up, I always start my tactics off in clean slate so I can go through and do exactly what I want for the system. Now, the system we're going to build is going to look a little bit like the 3-4-3 DM wide, and out of formation, I reckon it's going to look very similar. I am going to go very in-depth with tactics, though. I do want to see a 4-4-2 out-of-possession pressing structure, and I want to go mental on tactics this year. I will be doing loads of fully realistic tactics as we go through the year. But people, look how beautiful this is. In possession, out of possession, both on the same screen. I need to get my little tactical brain on, build this team, and I'll come back to you guys when Manchester United are set up, ready for the first game of the season, which will be in this episode, against Arsenal. I will say already, doing the player instructions, the visualization of what you can make your players do is so much better. It gives you so many more options. And yeah, tactics this year are going to be absolutely insane because we can do exactly what we want. And there we have it. We have a tactic that I have built, which I believe emulates Ruben Amorim's current system at Manchester United. You can see this is the combined tactic. So we have in possession, we have out of possession, we have both, and the combined looks a little bit like so. In goal with Silla Laman's ball playing goalkeeper, we have got a BCB, which is a ball playing centre back on either side of a central defender in the middle. You can see in possession, we are going a staggered midfield approach with Mainu as more of a central DM, just sitting there sort of screening the back line. Amad Diallo as an attacking wing-back on the right, with Dorgu as a wing-back helping support Matheus Cunha and Bruno Fernandes on the left-hand side. Playmaker is Bruno Fernandes in the middle. Free role is Matheus Cunha, and free role is something I'm so excited to get into this year. With the inside forward on the right with Mbeumo, and the target forward for Sesko up front, because the target forward reads really fun in this engine. If we can read it without it scrolling, heavily utilising their physicality and height to disrupt the opposition's defence and create goal score opportunities for their team. The target forward is typically the team's attacking outlet during the build-up phase and are the target of longer passes and clearances that knock down, flick on and lay off their surrounding teammates. And that's something we've seen from Benjamin Sesko this season. In terms of out of possession, we've got Sesko on a central outlet forward who stays high and as the counter-attacking outlet. Cunha goes back out more left and Mbeumo goes back out on the right, and then we set back into this sort of defensive system, which when we see now our out of possession system, how we sit when we're defending, it is a very flat back five, and Mbeumo drops even deeper to help out Amad, as Amad isn't the best defender in the world. When we're on the ball, again, that back five, fairly basic, and then we go forward. This is out of possession, obviously. The back five sitting nice and deep with then the sort of pressing of Cunha, Mbeumo and Sesko. Amad and Dorgu might go higher up, depending how it works in the match engine. Of course, the game's been out less than an hour as we sit here and record this. In possession, though, well, it looks very, very exciting. Amad is giving an option on the right-hand side of Mbeumo, and of course, Bruno can help link the play there. Dorgu wide left, Cunha and Mbeumo getting close to Sesko in the box, with Yoro stepping up slightly higher to help out. In transition, we have that sort of shoehorn back three, with then a nice up front three as well, with Amad getting nice and high on the right-hand side. Mbeumo slightly too central for my liking, something again we might figure out later on. And in the current build-up phase, Dorgu sits nice and high up on the left, Amad nice and high up on the right, and we build out in that midfield. Again, we could see it change ever so slightly in possession to more of this, which I think probably is what I'm going to do, purely because of the team instructions when we build out from the back in possession. That's more what I'm looking for, to be fair. It's going to take some getting used to, but my God, is this tactical bit really fun. And you can go so stupidly in depth. You can go into each personalized position. And again, I'm very confused of how it all works, but you can click into this and you can see as in possession and out of possession player instructions for each individual role. And then team instructions, you go in an overview of in possession. You can also change it in the final third, progression phase, and build up. And out of possession, once again, can change it in the high press, mid block, and the low block. So it is insane how much we can now do in Football Manager. And the team which we have selected, which I think is our best team, is this one. I'm going to be going with Mainu and Bruno in the DM pivot. If we notice it's not working, absolutely fine. We'll sort it out. Ahmad, I want him starting as our attacking right back. Dorgu as the left back. Cunha, Bumo, and Shesko up front as well. And of course, Super, Senna, Larmans in goal. But that is your Manchester United team on FM26. It feels insane to say. Now, of course, the most important thing is going to be the Premier League this season, as we need to get top 4 or top 5 potentially so we can qualify for the Champions League. And as things currently stand in the Premier League, the predictions for Manchester United, we are sitting in, what's that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6th place. I'll sort that out. We'll do a little bug thing for that because that shouldn't say 14 next to it. But 6th place for Manchester United preview behind Chelsea, Newcastle, but ahead of Spurs and Villa and Brighton, which I would say is quite nice of the game to do us like that. I'll be going a lot more in-depth into loads of different players and bits like that in episode 2. So if you guys are looking forward to that, make sure to subscribe to the channel. And of course, liking the video, because that will be coming out tomorrow. You guessed it. Tomorrow evening, I imagine. Maybe lunchtime. Not sure which way we're going to do. But over the next couple of days, there's going to be daily double uploads on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Yeah, lots of content coming out on the Kempe FM26 journey. Now, this season, of course, I'm also looking to have Benjamin Shesko really start his shooting boots for Manchester United. I want to see Shesko grab at least 20 goals this season, and I hope he can do it. I think he'll be able to. He looks really good on FM this year. Obviously, we know FM. Big players have always been good. Is that going to be different this year? Well, we never really know. We have no idea. I mean, this screen is going to take some getting used to because I have no idea where anything is, but I do know we have this lovely polygon screen, which I really like being able to click into straight away. 14 finishing, 15 determination, great physicals on him as well. He is going to be an absolute menace. Luke Shaw looks very decent on FM. Manu Lagate is going to be really good as a rotational defensive midfielder. I'm sure of that. Lenny Yoro as well is going to be a hot prospect for us. Joshua Xerxes is an interesting one. Of course, links to him potentially leaving in January in real life. I would love to keep Jay-Z around. We shall see, though, because Mateusz Cunha can play up front as well. Ahmad as an attacking right wing back. Now, defensively, of course, he's pretty woeful. But with the pace he's got, the dribbling, the first touch, and the mental stats to be able to stay in the right position at the right time at just 23 years of age, I'm confident Ahmad will be an absolute danger man for us this season. Casemiro, probably 1 season left in him, but he'll be a really good rotation option as well. Diogo Dalot, I've got no idea what's going to happen with this guy. I don't think he'll play too much, but as a rotational wing-back, he will certainly play until at least January. Matthijs de Ligt is an absolute hero, and if Bruno Fernandes was to leave, this would be my captain choice. Patrick Dorgu looks okay this year on FM. His stats aren't fantastic, not the greatest in terms of sort of like standout attributes, just really quick, which for FM is pretty good, let's be honest. Checking out Bruno Fernandes. I mean, it's Bruno Fernandes, isn't it? He's an absolute joke. He's one of the best players on the game, and so he deserves to be as well. 20 natural fitness, 20 stamina. We do not need to worry about selling this guy for any other reason than him wanting to leave or Saudi money coming in offering him 150 million, because he'll be able to run forever. Aiden Heaven looks really good. 5-star potential Aiden Heaven as well. He is certainly going to get lots of minutes for us this season. I did not expect him to look that good. 5 determination, a little bit weak. We'll have to look into that. But my God, Aiden Heaven look good. Rasmus Højlund out on loan looks better than he should do. Stella Larmans looks very good. Harry Maguire, obviously our backup striker. He'll be coming into the team lots. Cobby, very well rounded, looks fantastic. Malacia out, in the club actually. And then Leacher. Will Lisandro Martinez come back into the team when he is fit? I reckon so. He is meant to be back from injury between 8 weeks and 3 months with an ACL injury. We are in August already. We could see Lisandro Martinez maybe next episode. We'll see. Mateusz Cunha looks brilliant. Fantastic technicals, physicals, and mentals. Mazraoui is the most well-rounded player on the game and can play everywhere but striker and in goal. So if that doesn't tell you a lot about Mazraoui, I don't know what will. He is the man who can play everywhere. Brian Mbeumo looks also absolutely unreal. And we are back round, I think. No, Mason Mount. We haven't even spoke about Mason Mount yet. Mason Mount will certainly get minutes in this team. I'm a big fan of Mason Mount, and I'm sure he'll play lots and lots of games. Marcus Rashford, wow, he has been nerfed on FM, but still 17 pace, 15 finishing. He will be very good. And I imagine he will end up leaving to Barcelona. Jadon Sancho looks actually horrendous. That is insane how much this guy is downgraded on FM. Wow, Jadon Sancho, whatever happened to you? And back to Benjamin Sesko. But that's enough waffling. I've had enough of this. I want to see what the game looks like. I want to play in the Premier League against Arsenal. So let's get to it, shall we? We'll have the first game of the season this episode with Manchester United take on Arsenal at Old Trafford. Well, there has been some insane results in the Premier League already. Newcastle beating Villa, Forest beating Brentford, Fulham beating Brighton, Spurs beating Burnley, Sunderland beating West Ham, but most notably, Wolves beating Manchester City 4-3 on the opening day of the season. Now, for our first game in FM26, it doesn't get much harder than Arsenal, but we have been certainly helped out by the injuries to Gabriel Jesus, Bukayo Saka, and Kai Havertz. It's Manchester United versus Arsenal. Now, sadly, Matheus Cunha injured for this first game of the season, so Mason Mount comes in to the team. Arsenal with Gyökeres, Martinelli, and Noni Madueke are going to be incredibly hard to beat. But what a Premier League season we have up and coming. And my God, this FM26 look fantastic in all of its glory. And we have the official sounds. We have the official introductions. And the game, it just looks absolutely beautiful. And I cannot wait to see if we can pick up a victory in our first game. It's Manchester United versus Arsenal. It's the FM26 beta. And the Premier League is officially here on FM. And I've got to say straight away, the game looks absolutely incredible. Look at it. Brian Mbeumo on the ball, switching out to Bruno Fernandes over the top. Amad Diallo. It's exactly what we're looking to see. Amad facing up his man. Give me a trick or something. He finds Kobe into Mbeumo. Back to Bruno. Oh, into Dorgu. Bruno Fernandes. Long shot from range. Just over the bar. But the game looks beautiful and we are already cooking. I mean, look at this official Premier League licensing as well. FM, we are so back. It is insane. It is now Arsenal looking to attempt to build out from the back with a Manchester United high press. Martinelli into Declan Rice. Finds Odegaard in the middle. Gyökeres holding up. Nice and aggressive there from De Ligt. But Dorgu sleeping. Madueke is in behind. Great save from Sinalaman. Arsenal having the better of the ball now. Noni Madueke down the right-hand side. Faces up his man. A good clearance from De Ligt. But we are stuck in our own box at home at Old Trafford in the first game of the season. That's not going to go down well with the Stretford end. Odegaard, Rice. No shots. Oh my God, I said no shots and he shot. It's all good. Still 0-0. Can we try and stop Arsenal from breaking through? I mean, that was the easiest thing I've ever seen in my life. That right there was two passes. They were through. A knock off Lilic's head. And Larman saves us once again. Arsenal with the ball deep in their half. Finds Miles Lewis-Skelly playing as that inverted wing-back. Has been heavily involved in this game. Madueke finds Odegaard. Good save from Larman. Drops out to Martinelli. Stop him from the ball in. And we have managed to get it cleared. But I've seen something which we need to change tactically very, very quickly. As soon as we have the next break in play, it's time to change something. But Patrick Dorgu, that was magical. He finds Mason Mount to the left-hand side. Is this actually a Manchester United chance? Bruno Fernandes back into Mason Mount. Out to Patrick Dorgu. And he lets the ball go. Time for that tactical change. Out of possession, I'm going to make Brian Mbeumo sit slightly more centrally as we are getting overloaded in this area. I'm going to have him as a just a standard attacking midfielder. Don't have him doing too much too different. If we now click on team instructions and go out of possession, yeah, that should be a little bit better. And Mbeumo helping out slightly more centrally to stop Miles Lewis-Skelly build up the play. Odegaard driving through the Manchester United midfield. He made Mason Mount look like a mug. Ben White finds Madueke. Madueke finds Odegaard. Can he find a killer pass into the middle? He cannot. We survive once again. Ben White on the right-hand side. Finds Noni Madueke. Back into Ben White. Arsenal really probing for an for an early lead. And Larman's with a great save. A long-distance shot from Martin Odegaard. We managed to keep it out. And that is half-time. And I've got to say, we have been dominated. But 5 shots to their 10. Only 26% possession of the ball. This is not what I was looking for in the first game. I'm going to drop the passing slightly shorter and make it so we're more standard in tempo and drop the mentality down into balanced. Well, hopefully we can just keep a little bit more possession in the second half and look to try and get a smash and grab 1-0. Now we have gone ahead and made a triple change of Diogo Dalot, Joshua Zirkzee and Manuel Ugarte all coming on to the pitch. Joshua Zirkzee in for Brian Mbeumo. Due to the fact he started this game injured. Benjamin Sesko, though, down on the ball on the right-hand side. Sets it in. Zirkzee, Ahmad. Oh, nearly the first goal, but sadly just wide. Bruno on the ball once again from range. I thought our first goal was going to be a screamer from Bruno. That was close. Arsenal with a free kick in a dangerous area on the right flank after a Dalot foul. Odegaard whips it in. Well cleared out, but it drops to Madueke into Zubimendi. He hits the crossbar, and Manchester United manage to clear the ball. 15 minutes to go. It is still all Arsenal, but we have a chance to have a smash and grab win here. And Arsenal are going to attempt to play out from the back. It's Odegaard on the ball. Beaten off the ball by Bruno Fernandes. And now we can counter. Sesko, Mount, play it through. Joshua Zirkzee. Oh. Zirkzee sticks it over. A great chance, but sadly missed. And that is going to be our first game of Football Manager, finishing off as a 0-0 draw, which, you know what, against Arsenal, one of the better teams on this game, we will certainly take. And that wraps up episode 1 of the beta. Now episode 2 is going to be much longer, a lot more games in there, and we're hopefully going to go all the way to January, and that's why I need your guys' recommendations for signings to make. If you guys have enjoyed, make sure you smash the like button and subscribing to the channel, because the FM26 era is here, and I cannot wait to get into more games. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll speak to you guys next time. We are back today on the FM26 beta with Manchester United, where last time out we set up our save, we emulated Ruben Amorim's 3-4-2-1 tactics and played the first game of the season against Arsenal, which ended up in a bore 0-0 draw. So we're looking for a more entertaining episode today, and we've got a lot of fantastic games coming your way. I've already played through the month of August, but in today's episode we're going to see huge games against Manchester City and Liverpool, both away from home, and hopefully we're going to score a bunch of goals, which we've already done in August. So let me catch you up with what's happened so far before we go to the empty ads and upset Pep Guardiola and Manchester City. Now, after that game against Arsenal, we were looking for goals, and we found that away from home against Fulham. But were we going to come away with a dominant victory? Was it going to be a hard-fought draw, or were Fulham going to get the 3 points? So we kicked things off with Dalot whipping it in and Benjamin Sesko grabbing his first goal of the season, which I was absolutely buzzing with. And then Emil Smith-Rowe turned into Lionel Messi, drove through the whole team, beat Manu and found the bottom corner to level the game up in just 13 minutes. But skipping on to 38, Diogo Dalot finds Manu down the left-hand side, drags it back, it drops to Bruno Fernandes, and an own goal from Joachim Andersen made it 2-1. But in the 41st minute, Fulham once again pegged us back. Kenny Tete and Harry Wilson linking up before a header from Rodrigo Muniz made it 2-2. And Fulham in the air, well, they were an issue. Still in the first half, in the 46th minute, Harry Wilson scored to make it 3-2. And I was disappointed at this point. I was thinking going into half-time, 3-2 down, what on earth? Well, 47 minutes on the clock, Lenny Yoro pulls out a left-footed screamer. But sadly for us, there was only one more goal in this game, and it was another Fulham goal. It was a 4-3 victory for Fulham as Rodrigo Muniz pokes home, and Fulham come away with all 3 points at home at Craven Cottage. And we've conceded 4, which is not a good sign. So for the next game against Leeds in the Carabao Cup, I decided to change things around. And we've gone into a 4-4-2 out of possession structure, something which is being a lot used in the modern game. In possession, keeping our 3-4-2-1, but out of possession, being nice and aggressive with 2 strikers up there pressing the ball. Now, obviously, it does look a little bit weird in the combined, but it works. It works really well, and we saw that against Leeds. And the thing that made me most happy was the squad rotation and how much the rotational players really showed up. Mason Mount in 16 minutes grabbing the first goal of the game. Zooming on forward into the 77th, super sub Chido Obi finds Amad Diallo down the right hand side to make it 2-0. And the guy that set up that goal is going to go ahead and score his own. Aiden Heaven with a driving run finds Mason Mount, a lovely ball over the top, and Chido Obi dinks past the goalkeeper to make it 3-0. Now, I was worried Chido was not going to be a superstar in this save, but he showed us in that game he can link up play and he can score goals. And that's what we need from our striker. And then finally, we were taking on Scott Parker's Burnley. A Bruno Fernandes goal from the penalty spot got us off to a 1-0 lead before headers, corners and free kicks once again proves to be our downfall. 1-1, Burnley get back into the game, but we end up with a 2-1 victory with a lovely Mason Mount turn and finish into the top corner to secure all 3 points. We shut up shop in the second half and the 4-4-2 out of possession was used once again and works very well. And I'm very happy with that tactical tweak. But is that going to work up against Pep Guardiola and Manchester City? I'm not so sure. They've got a full strength side, only Kovacic and Shirky with slight injuries, so they should be absolutely fine. They have not got off to the greatest start, currently sitting down in 14th place with us in 12. If we can see their schedule, they lost to Brighton, they lost to Spurs, and of course, lost to Wolves on the opening day of the season, which we saw last time out, 4-3. So we know we can get at City, but it's not going to be an easy game. Now, the good thing is this is the first game where we are able to use Matheus Cunha as he is back from injury. Now, his sharpness isn't great. He's not going to be able to play a full 90, but he is going to certainly start this game for me. Out of possession, we have set things all up. You do have to sometimes jig this around a little bit, so keep that in mind when you are using the in possession, out of possession. I'm sure it'll be fixed by the time the full game comes out, but this is how the tactic looks. Almost this 4-4-2, 3-4-2-1 difference between them, how it's set out properly. Of course, in possession, Matheus Cunha in this free role is what I am really excited to see. And Sesko, so far as the target forward, hasn't been too impressive. And I might change this for this game into a centre forward. So we've got someone with a bit more of an outball. I am also going to change mentality down to balance for this game. And something else I've also been meaning to do is in instructions in possession, take it off counter-attack and go to standard. We have been much better when doing that. You can see here we're actually one of the teams with the best shot percentage in the league, and dribbles per game is really high as well. Shots per game 16.3, dribbles per game 26, which seems to be elite, and that's what I love to see. I would need to go through this a lot more in depth and understand how all this stuff is working, but having this at your fingertips as you go into the game is incredible. Being able to instantly see, all of this sort of data and analysis, for someone like me who's a bit of a data and analysis nerd, it's incredible. But that's enough waffle. We've now got to go to Etihad and see if we can beat City, or at least take away a point. Manchester City lining up in their traditional 4-3-3. Lewis, Ruben, Gvardiol, Ake, Rodri, Foden and Bernardo Silva. Of course, us using our 3-4-2-1 system. I've got to say, the Etihad looks really good on the game. It looks better than Old Trafford, sadly. But it's actually a full dome stadium, which is really, really nice. And I said it last time, but FM have absolutely smashed out of the park with a presentation of the game, and just the upgrade from last year is genuinely sensational. So it is just the start of a brand new era under Unity, and it's so exciting that we have this level of in-game detail. Now imagine when that's a Champions League ball, when we've taken, Salford from there to the Champions League. It's going to feel so rewarding, and I can't wait to manage in lower leagues as well. Let me know down in the description which teams you are managing on your saves to kick things off on the beta, because I want to know, because they could give me some ideas for rebuilds coming up. Straight into it then, and a build-up play from the back, and Lenny Yoro driving from that right centre-back position, which we love to see. Mbumo hasn't got going yet, and oh my god, I thought he'd done it. Mbumo linking up with Mazraoui, finding Matheus Cunha in the box 4 minutes in to his Manchester United debut. Save from Donnarumma. That was nearly incredible, exactly what we're looking to do. Man City now starting to build up, and I've got to say, the tactical sort of difference you can see on this game is incredible. They have been using the box to bring out from the back, and that's a lovely goal from Bernardo Silva to make it 1-0. I've just got to say, the build-up of that goal was incredible. Ruben Diaz with a switch pass out to Bernardo Silva, beats Luke Shaw like he wasn't even there, but you might not have seen it, but the build-up before, they were sitting in their box, midfield and defence, and it was incredible. Just looking at how we're going to have to try and outclass managers like Pep on FM is going to be a big challenge, as we can see. Now, other than that goal and our early chance, that was it for the first half. And we are currently sitting 1-0 down. I went attacking from the 20th minute onwards as well. And we did manage to kind of get back into the game. I'm going to, stress that I'm angry, get a bit frustrated out there. Now, Matheus Cunha is not going to be able to stay on this pitch for too long. and Benjamin Sesko not having the greatest of games either. Now, tactically, I'm not sure if the 4-2-3, or the 4-4-2 out of possession was the right move for this game. Maybe we should have sat deep and tried to counter. I mean, it's just me being a bit excited with the tactics, maybe. This first season is going to be purely about getting Champions League football, and maybe I need to do a little bit better tactically than what I've done so far, but we might speak too soon. You never know. Jeremy Doku, though, is on the ball on the left-hand side, and he has just drifted past Brian and Bumo, and Doku's going to be a very good player on this FM by the looks of it. And Bumo doing well defensively, but it does fall to Doku once again into Mateus Nunes, and it is Manchester City 2-0 in 49 minutes. This was always going to be a tough game, and we're seeing that now. We really have not managed to penetrate this Manchester City defence so far, and 68 minutes on the clock, they are once again on the ball and looking to punish us. That's an unbelievable ball from Nico O'Reilly, and Erling Haaland was never going to miss that one, was he? It's 3-0 to City, and this is not the first Manchester derby I wanted to see in this video. We could be on damage control now, as a fourth would be really, really disappointing. Bernardo Silva down the right-hand side sets it back to Rico Lewis into Rodri. Do not let him shoot from there. Oh my God. The substitution scared me that it was 4-0. I've dropped it back down to balance to attempt to not get so dominated, but City are just pressing us so much. In the highlights you're not seeing, they are just all over us as soon as we get the ball. I mean, we'll watch this one out through and through. Diogo Dalot, I mean, you could already see they're starting to press up on us. Dalot finds Euro on the right-hand side. And straight away, I mean, Manu Agate dispossessed by Omar Mamouche down this left-hand side. He's going to drift past Euro. The dribbling mechanics from this game are so much better than they ever have been previously. And that was nearly 4-0. Nico O'Reilly with a great effort just wide of the mark. But City just a class above. And Pep, a class above me, apparently, as well. So, well, we learn something new every day. Pep Guardiola's a better manager. The last thing we want now in the 95th minute is a fourth goal. With just 60 seconds left, we can't be seeing Erling Haaland go through one-on-one, can we? Yeah. Yeah. Fair enough. If you play Man City on this game, good luck, because they're pretty good. And that sends us down to 14th place in the Premier League with a 4-0 defeat. And Erling Haaland just destroying us. Our top performer was Diogo Dalot on a 6.8 average rating, which probably shows you how poor everyone played in that game. Euro a 6.3, a 6.1 from Bruno Fernandes going missing in the big game. And Bumo 6.2, Cunha 6.2, Sesko 6.3. Just could not get in the game with our attackers, which is a real shame because the last couple of games we've looked really, really good. I mean, that game against Leeds, I know it's Leeds or Manchester City, very, very different. We were fantastic. And even the game against Burnley, we were dominating. We've now got Chesterfield, Chelsea, Brentford and Sunderland. We are going to finish this episode off with the game against Liverpool. So I'm going to go through and play these next few games. And that will leave us completely up to date with real life football. So as on Saturday night, when United have beat Brighton 4-0 and we're all absolutely buzzing, we get to come on here, watch me do that as well, and then go on and have a fantastic second half of the start of the season. So let's get into it. Let me go through and play some of these games. And hopefully we don't watch another 4-0 against Liverpool. Now, what I've just had is one of the most enjoyable nights of gaming in recent memory playing Football Manager. But that started off with me nearly losing to Chesterfield as they went 1-0 up. And it took me all the way to the 81st minute and bringing on the big guns to turn this game around. It was Mbumo fighting Sesko to get off the score sheet away at Chesterfield, celebrating like a madman. Another ball down the right-hand side. This time it's Jaden Camerson down the wing, whips it in, and Sesko was there once again. We've found his level. It's Chesterfield. He scores to make it 2-1. Mbumo then finds the ball inside to Camerson, into Mainu, into Mason Mount with a long-range screamer for 3-1 in the game against Chesterfield. Moving us on to the next phase of the Carabao Cup, which is a competition that I definitely think we can win, unlike, of course, in real life. We then faced up against Chelsea, obviously a victory in real life due to Chelsea going down to 10 men. I wasn't as confident in real life, especially because Cole Palmer is an absolute joke on this version of FM now. Well, actually, Cole Palmer wasn't an issue at all in this game. Benjamin Sesko got us off to a great start in 53 minutes, but it was an Alejandro Garnacho brace of assists which gave Chelsea the 2-1 victory. And as a Manchester United fan, I did not want to see Garnacho turn up at FM26 and actually be good, but a brace of assists, that's not ideal. So we simply had to win against Brentford. There was no two ways about it, or we would potentially be in a relegation fight. So Patrick Dorgu turned up and found Benjamin Sesko to grab us the early lead, and we grabbed a second soon after that as well. And Bumo down the right-hand side, skipping past his man and finally showing up for us with a goal against his former club. Maybe that ain't going to be the end of it today either. Brentford are going to grab a goal to make it 2-1, but it was that man once again, Brian Mbeumo, turning up in this game, picking up the ball 35 yards out, beating his man, cutting on that left foot, and away from home at the G-Tech at Brentford. Well, of course, he knows how to score goals there. A 3-1 victory, an 8.9 average rating, and we may have just seen Brian Mbeumo finally turn up in this save. And there was a few big changes for that game and the game against Sunderland, which we will see up next. And it's mainly come down tactically. Now, I've gone back to sticking to the 3-4-2-1 rather than having the out-of-possession 4-4-2. I think it's going to take some time to work out exactly how all of this works, with it not being very, very difficult. I think tactics are going to be incredibly fun, but currently are very, very hard to get right while changing so much. So I've gone back a little bit more basic for that game against Brentford, went back to the 3-4-2-1, in possession having the central cam and the wide right winger, out of possession having the two cams, being nice and aggressive. And of course, in terms of both, they are looking like so. With our team instructions, I also go into more of a high press rather than sitting in a mid block, just to be more aggressive. So when we move up to this middle phase, it looks a bit more how I'm looking for it to look. And in possession as well, in terms of the middle phase, this looks exactly like I was looking forward to. Mbeumo being more of a winger rather than an inside forward too close to Sesko wasn't giving us enough options, and we're sitting in that game against Brentford, having him wider, cutting in is exactly what I needed. He can still link up with Ahmad, and we saw some beautiful play with that in that game, and hopefully we'll see that against Sunderland and against Liverpool. Dorgu holding wide left, of course, got the first assist as well. And when we get further into the box, Cunha is in that free roll half space, and Mbeumo goes very high, which allows Ahmad more space, and Yoro steps up as well. The only issue with being counter-attacked, but I mean, that's what Manchester United do in real life. We get counter-attacked for fun. But the tactic I've tweaked ever so slightly, and by the end of this beta period, there will be a Ruben Amorim tactic released on the channel with loads of different variations, 4-4-2 out of possession, attacking variation, defensive, realistic, meta, all in one video. And all of them tactic files will be available exclusively on the Patreon as well. So if you guys are interested in helping support me as a channel, please head over to the Patreon, and the tactics are all downloadable in the £5 a month tier. And the tactics we're going to make this year are going to be insane. So make sure you're helping support over there. It means the absolute world to me. And if you can, also smash a like on this video. There's a new feature called Hype. You guys smashed episode 1. So hype out this episode 2 as well to help us push the whole channel, and subscribe to the channel, because over 65% of you are not subscribed. Do me a massive favour. Join the Kempy army. And let's go and try and get something against Sunderland and then beat Liverpool, shall we? Now, this game against Sunderland was the classic Manchester United at the start of this Premier League season. 33 shots to their 6, 51% possession to their 49, but a 1-1 draw. And their goalkeeper grabbing an 8.5 average rating. Really disappointed in the fact we didn't manage to win that game. Sesko was an absolute ghost, as was Mbeumo. So apparently he can only play at the G-Tech, which is a bit of a shame. Ahmad's done really well in the right-back role. Bruno good deeper. The back three doing well. Lahmann's not having a great game, but 33 shots. We created so many chances, but just couldn't put the ball in the back of the net. And I'll be honest, all of that really scares me, because we're now facing up against Liverpool. And they're quite good. They're currently top of the table. They are on 16 points out of 7 games. So currently unbeaten, which is lovely to see. In terms of their formation, they are playing a 4-2-3-1, out of possession a 4-4-2 effectively. Exactly what I was expecting to see. Team-wise, Ekatike, Isak, Wirtz, Salah, McAllister, Gravenberch, Robertson, Joe Gomez, Kanate, Van Dijk, Alisson. We're going to struggle in this game, aren't we? And then we're playing a control possession, so we're going to have to try and weather the storm and do exactly what we've done in real life. I'm going to be changing tactically, kind of, going more counter-attacking in this game once again, sitting deep, soaking up the pressure, and then going for them on the break. I do want to see in terms of their goals and stuff. I don't really know how all of this works so far in terms of seeing how each team is doing. I mean, 13 place shots, 6 powerful shots. I mean, you can go so in depth. It's absolutely crazy. I kind of just want to see how many goals they've scored. I mean, Apparently, top goal scorer is Isak with 8 goals, which is insane already in 7 games. He's going to be stupidly good on this game, isn't he? I mean, yeah, he's quite good. 190 centimetres, crazy physicals, crazy mentals, 18 finishing. Oh, this could be a long day. And I'm going to take inspiration from Ruben Amorim in this game. We've got Matheus Cunha up front, Mount, Mbeumo, Mainu, Fernandes. Actually, not Mainu either. We're definitely going to go Casemiro and Fernandes. Mazraoui, Dorgu, Yoro, Maguire, De Ligt, and Larmans. I've also made the decision out of possession to drop 2 fullbacks that are pressing rather than wingbacks because they should slip slightly deeper and then go up and press their man. And we are also on stop crosses. We are on counter-attack. We are on high-tempo standard directness. We are really looking to sit deep, as you can see. Don't let him have any chances. Shift over the pitch, left, right, and centre. And really just have that out ball with Matheus Cunha ready to come in. I might even, out of possession, have Cunha as like a tracking centre forward as well. Just so we really are sitting nice and deep all the time. We don't really want any particular out ball like that because he's so isolated. So that should help drop him deeper. It's going to be a very, very tough game. But one that, if we get tactically correct, would be a huge step forward. And tactics is something that I'm really enjoying on this game so far. Really delving deep into how they work. And this episode is going to be titled something around how tactics are amazing on FM26. They're just very, very hard. One of the biggest rivalries in football then, Liverpool, Manchester United setting up in the team that we expected them to. That dangerous front four, Salah, Isak, Ekitike, Florian Wirtz. Can they perform better today than they did in real life? Liverpool going to be a super test. We are currently sitting in 15th place. So a loss here could see us down into the relegation zone and us questioned once again. But we need to finish this episode off with a victory here against Liverpool at Anfield on FM26. And I'll tell you what, 21 minutes into this game, we are frustrating Liverpool. 0 shots just yet. It is exactly how we planned things to go. We've actually been on the counter twice as well. So far, this is exactly what we want to see. Until this corner from Florian Wirtz probably finds a Virgil van Dijk header and they make it 1-0. Not quite. Well done, Casemiro, but it does fall back out to Wirtz on that right-hand side. Frustrate him. Don't let him shoot. Don't let him in the box. Robertson finds one wide to Alexander Isak. Oh, that's incredible. 1-0. Isak scores a long-range effort. I mean, we've tactically done everything we can do. But when Alexander Isak is on that kind of form and can put that kind of ball into the back of the net, there's not a lot we can do, to be honest. I'm going to watch this again because, I mean, that was beautiful. He sort of peels out here as he drops in. He's in no man's land. I don't know what he's even doing. He was actually at the back. It falls to him, takes a touch on that right foot, and a lovely finish into the top bins. I mean, Larmans was never getting there. And I spoke too soon because we're now 1-0 down. Mohamed Salah on the ball, looking to try and put Liverpool 2-0 ahead. Drives in that left foot. I mean, oh, why have I showed the 2 games in this episode of Manchester City and Liverpool away from home? It was never going to go well, was it? Because they're both so good, especially on FM. Salah cutting inside. I mean, no one's even getting close to him. I can't blame him. I mean, why would you get close to Salah? He'll put it past you and it will embarrass you. And we're now 2-0 down in 25 minutes and half-time can't come soon enough because we need a little rethink. Or we could be about to be in trouble once again. Liverpool are on the ball. Gravenberch into Konate. I think we're going to make a tactical change regardless of this highlight because it's not going well. It is not going well. Oh my God. That was incredible. Right. Let's change things up. I don't know what to do because this team is just good, aren't they? I mean, let's be real here. Let's try and get him wide and let's try and really exploit the width of this team. We have got good wingers. We should be able to really try and stretch them. If we can prioritise runs down both flanks and under that balanced. Make it as sort of that as possible. Progress through there. Need to try and fix something because this isn't going well. I just want to see a Manchester United highlight. I can't have today be back-to-back 4-0s, can I? If we lose this game heavily, we're playing against Brighton and we're going to batter them. And trust me, that's going to be fun. That goal was disallowed from Ekitike. We're going to play against Brighton if we lose this because I need to end this episode on a high. Last time out, 0-0 draw. You guys haven't seen me score live yet. 0-0 draw, 4-0 loss, and now losing 2-0 to Liverpool. Florian Wirtz is being a real issue for us. He finds Ekitike. Larmans does make the save. We aren't even in like a high line at this point either, but they are getting in behind every single time. This is carnage. We've got 10 seconds till half time. Oh, if they score, no, it's 3-0. It is not looking good. I tell you what, we just cannot get close to him. It is the 48th minute now. Salah down the right-hand side once again. Pulls it back into Gravenberch, into Wirtz, into McAllister. We cannot touch them. I've made a quadruple substitution with Xerxes, Sesko, Luke Shaw and Ugarte coming on and switching into the 4-4-2 out of possession just to try and be a bit more aggressive. And for the first time, we actually have the ball. I have not seen us have the ball yet, and that's what we do with it. That's why we don't need the ball, because we'll just give it away anyway, and then they'll probably counter-attack and score. Isak drifts past Maguire like he's not even there. Gonna put it out. Oh, Luke Shaw, Gravenberch, long range, beats his man. God. Coming in on the hour mark. Let's have a build-out goal. Let's start at the back. Let's move the... This is so mentally draining. This is mentally draining. I have had so much fun playing this game other than playing against Manchester City and Liverpool. These two, it's not fun. It's not fun. It's not fun. I'm not enjoying myself. It's 4-0. It's 4-0 again. We'll call it there. Honestly, just stop the game now. Patrick Dorgu down the left-hand side. Just, I'll take a consolation goal just to give me a bit of hope and faith. He's just broken Salah's legs. Oh, this could not get any worse. It's a red card, isn't it? Claiming he's wasting time. He's off. Oh, a 4-0 and a red card. Football Manager is teaching me a lesson here. We are not having a good time. And thankfully, that is it. We managed to keep it to 4-0, but an utter embarrassment that game was. That is not good at all. And I simply can't end the episode of that because we are sitting in 15th place. And, I mean, I need to go and beat Brighton just for my own sanity to end this episode so you guys don't think I'm the worst Football Manager player of all time. Now, Brighton never sounds like an easy challenge until you realise they have 3 points in the bottom of the Premier League table. If we lose this game, I will resign. We simply cannot lose 4-0 to Liverpool, 4-0 to Manchester City, lose to Chelsea, and then lose to home Brighton. I will be absolutely livid. Of course, they are looking to play their 4-2-3-1 system with a 4-4-2 out of possession, but being one of the worst teams in the league, being bottom of the league, we should be getting a win here. We need to stop Geronimo Ruta because he's apparently having a great season. 5 goals for him, 3 in the Premier League in 8 games. But, I mean, it shouldn't matter. These are bottom of the league. Now, this is the sort of game that I do believe the 4-4-2 out of possession structure will work better against because they're not playing in a 5-back and we should be able to defend with a high press against their 4 defenders rather than just the 1. So we should be able to stop them from getting out so much. The team looks a little bit weird when it's like this with Shaw, De Ligt, Euro, Mazraoui as a really good back 4. I'm using Diego Leon as the left wide midfielder because obviously Dorgu is out of this game. Sesko and Mateusz Cunha up front. Mainu, Casemiro, Fernandes in the midfield. It looks a bit funky here, but I think it'll be fine. I mean, am I being weird? Am I being stupid and I'm playing just really weird systems and I'm doing things wrong? Because I feel like we shouldn't be losing to Liverpool 4-0 or City 4-0 or Chelsea 2-1. I feel like we should be doing better. And hopefully in this game against Brighton, we can do better. Well, it is just a classic 3 p.m. kickoff at Old Trafford. This is a game which means a lot for both managers. It could be the start of our season at Manchester United, and it could be the end of Huertzler's season at Brighton as they sit at the foot of the table in 20th place. We are in dire need of a victory. A win could take us into the top half of the table, but thanks to recent results, we really need a victory. Sitting on 11 points after 9 games is not quite as bad as 8 after 9. So let's go. Manchester United versus Brighton at Old Trafford. One of the biggest games of the season so far. 9 minutes in now, we do have a corner ball to Brighton. It is Ferdi Kadioglu whipping it in. And Mats Vifer heading it over the bar. Larman's in no man's land. Well, that's not a good sign. Kobe Mainu on the ball, on the edge of the box, playing with Bruno Fernandes. Mainu tries to beat Vifer. Doesn't manage to, and Brighton can potentially counter-attack, and that's a great ball down the line to Yakumba Minte. Leon out of position. Can Luke Shaw get out there to stop him? Minte finds Welbeck. Great save from Stena Leemans to keep it at 0-0. But that was a dangerous counter-attack. A set piece, a free kick. Matt Vifer, the Manchester United Wolves standing in the way. He hits the post and it goes out for a goal kick. Wow, Rooney, that was close. We are being dominated in this one so far. I don't really know how to stop them. Brighton, for being bottom of the league, are quite good apparently, and they are just completely and utterly dominating us. 6 shots to our 0, 60% of the ball. We're being outclassed, but this could be a chance. Luke Shaw into Sesko, hold at the play, nice. Bruno Fernandes wide, Mazraoui drive down the line, beat a man, whip it into the byline, whip it. Ah, the scoop, pen! Come on. We will take a penalty. We will take you guys seeing a goal in an episode which isn't a post-com goal. That's what we need to be able to see here. Penalty awarded, and it of course is going to be that man, Bruno Fernandes, to step up to the spot against Bart Verbruggen. Bruno has missed penalties in real life this season, but here on FM, surely Bruno is going to be the man to score from the spot. He steps up, he puts it top left, and Manchester United, we're 1-0 up. Despite that, I have changed the system into being our 3-4-2-1 out of possession as well as in possession, purely because we're just being a little bit too dominated, and I'm hoping this should just give us a little bit more control, which we shall see if that is how it pans out. Brighton then trying to build out from the back. Can we press them in and not let them out? Or is it going to be one pass into Viper and they're completely free like that? Barjan Gruda now on the ball, skipping past Mainu being beaten like he's not even there. I mean, Cobby, man, come on, stick a foot in at least. Carlos Baleba, one of our January or summer targets on the ball there for Brighton. Good challenge from Casemiro, but it drops to Gruda and he's 1-on-1 and he puts it wide. Casemiro actually making a really good challenge there, being proactive rather than just waiting for them to get the goal. Cunha with a nice bit of skill, plays that out wide to Diogo Dalot, who's come on for, Diego Leon. Ball to absolutely no one, though, and Brighton, once again, will try and build out. It is Joe Veltman finding Minte up into Gruda. Again, so much space for them on the counter-attack. Barjan Gruda smashes it over the bar. That's something I'm really going to have to attempt and see what I can do there. We might have to change. In fact, I'm going to do it now, a bit of a risk. But these I'm going to put onto stopping centre-backs because I think that could help with our centre-backs being more aggressive. If someone gets the ball in them half spaces, them getting straight onto them. Because at the moment, they're just drifting through us. We have managed to solidify our defence, but a Brighton corner could be the undoing of us, or it could be the start of a counter-attack, and it's Bruno Fernandes bringing it forward. The United players bombing on forward, switch it into Cunha, or finding Bumo, the new sub, on the pitch. Cunha, backstick header, and it's 2-0, and I think that is our first open play goal. Brian Mbeumo, Mateus Cunha link it up for 2-0. VAR is going to check it, but the goal will stand. Goal awarded, Brian Mbeumo, a great run down the right-hand side, a great counter-attack. And that was close, I'll be honest, but Cunha, a lovely header. The way he got into that was fantastic. 2-0 to United then, and this game should be all but done. We might even see more goals, you never know. Now we've opened the gates. It is Mbeumo drifting in from the right-hand side, cutting into Bruno Fernandes. A ball over the top, out wide to Mazraoui, brings the ball down, whips it in. Benjamin Sesko. Hang on a minute, we could have found something. A clean sheet here would be absolutely lovely. It is the 88th minute. 3 points most important, but keeping a clean sheet would be a massive, massive boost considering some of the defeats we've had this season. Mazraoui, great defensive effort there. Finds Mbeumo, great ball over the top. Sesko is through, brings it down, beats his man, sticks it in the top bins, and it's 3-0. We are back, people. Manchester United, we're on 11 points after 8 games. What were you on in real life? I don't think it's too many more than that. We're on 13 with one less game played. So Amorim is not a bad coach, actually. Amorim's pretty good. I'll give it to him. But here, I mean, I'll take this result. This is a massive result. After some of the defeats we've had in this episode, 3-0 is fantastic. 3-1 would annoy me because it's so unnecessary. Kadioglu on the ball in behind to Gruda. Gets to the byline, beats his man. Gruda sets it in. Good block from Luke Shaw. I do think them stopper centre-backs made a big difference, though, because them 2 runs we saw from Gruda in and around the 55th minute where he was driving at the defence, we didn't see any more of them since adding stopping centre-backs because they were going to press the man. And we finished the game with a 3-0 victory. And we finished the episode in 12th place. Let's go, United. That is It's not amazing, is it? But it's not awful. I mean, we've won the game, which is a very, very good sign. And we have 3 points on the board once again. Now, we have got some big games coming up. And this is sort of a spell where we can make or break our season. We have got Coventry next up in the Carabao Cup, Nottingham Forest away from home, Spurs away from home. But there is a bunch of games here which I'm going to get into and play. And of course, by the end of this December period, it is going to be January, and we're going to have a January bumper special because there will be incomings. I'm looking to bring in potentially a midfielder, and you guys have left some fantastic comments in episode 1. If you are still watching, get your comments in down below. Who do you want me to sign in January or in the summer? Because this team does need some revamping if we are to try and win the Champions League in 2 seasons. Thank you guys so much for watching. Smash the like button, subscribe to the channel, hype the video, and I'll speak to you next time. We are back today on the FM26 Manchester United save, where last time out we got absolutely battered by Manchester City and by Liverpool. But we left last episode of a 3-0 victory over Brighton, and I said I was going to play the next 2 months. And I've done that, and I've turned things around. And I've done it by keeping the Ruben Amorim 3-4-2-1 system. But being 2 months into the future also means we are in January, so it is transfer window time, and we're going to be making some of the signings you guys recommended in the comments of the first episode. So without further ado, let's get into it. The Manchester United January special. This is going to be a big one. And we'll kick things off with the Carabao Cup because we need to get out of the way. We beat Coventry 1-0, but sadly we will not be lifting the trophy this season as Liverpool beat us away from home, but only 1-0. And that was thanks to a huge tactical tweak. If you remember last time out, we attempted to use the 3-4-2-1 in a more cautious manner and it completely failed. Well, this time I done it and I made it a lot better. In possession, we were very aggressive with 2 wingers and the striker, and out of possession, we sat in a flat back 5, which meant when Liverpool were actually attempting to press us out of possession, we were so deep they had absolutely nowhere to go, which is why their only goal was a goal from a corner, a Kanate header in just 3 minutes. But other than that, we nullified them completely. But it wasn't just there where I'd managed to turn things around tactically. In fact, we went on a pretty decent spell after the 1-0 against Coventry, beating Forest 1-0, beating Everton 1-0, and Crystal Palace 3-1, with only 1 loss, a 1-0 loss to Spurs, showing we have definitely shored things up defensively with the tweaks that I've made. And whilst we've been doing all that, we have also been giving minutes to youngsters. As you can see in this Crystal Palace Manchester United game, the first goal was scored by Amir Ibrahimov, who, by the way, his stats are progressing at a pretty insane level. His potential has gone up to 3.5 to 4.5 star just because he's having some minutes. He has played 3 games off the bench in the Premier League and is playing for the under-21s as well. So Amir is someone to certainly keep an eye on. And I wish I could have said the same for Chido Obi as well, but he has been littered with injuries throughout this kind of spell we've been on. He had a 2-month injury just gone, and he now has got a poxy cold. I mean, it is January the 1st. I think we all get a cold after that Christmas period. He's probably actually just wanting a bit of time off, isn't he? But Chido sadly hasn't played a single game since the goal and assist he got last time out. Which means that youngsters are getting minutes elsewhere. Victor Musa has had a game off the bench. Gabriel Biancheri has had 2. Sekou Kone has had 2. Vinny McAllister has had 3. Amir has had 3. Jaden Camerson has had 4. Shea Lacey has played 4 games for Manchester United. Tyler Fredrickson and Diego Leon have actually had starts. And Aiden Heaven has also played 4 games from the start for us. Now, partly that has been down to AFCON because Amad Diallo, Brian Mbumo and Nusayr Mazraoui are all gone off to AFCON, which means our right-hand side has been completely depleted. So Jaden Camerson, Shea Lacey, Gabriel Biancheri are all able to play in the right wing or right back spots. So they've got lots more minutes there. So with all of that being said, you'd think our form would have completely fallen off a cliff. But actually, that's not the case at all. First up, we have this game against West Ham, which was just before the lads went off to AFCON. And when I really started to feel like the tactic was starting to click, because Amad and Mbumo down this right-hand side were a menace. Benjamin Sesko grabbing the second goal just after half-time, literally 15 seconds after in this one. And then Mainu found Mason Mount, who we will talk about in a second. If anyone has sold Mason Mount in their Manchester United saves, I feel sorry for you because he is insane on FM26. Dalot found Casemiro for a 4th in this game, which did end up finishing 4-2 thanks to 2 late goals from West Ham. But That was a fantastic performance. We had another 4-2 as well against Newcastle, a brace from Mateusz Cunha, and Benjamin Sesko also got injured in the second half of December. So we were without Mbeumo, Sesko, Ahmad. We were really depleted, and Joshua Zirkzee stepped up with a brace in this game. And then finally, it's Mason Mount time. This game against Wolves I have just played, and Mason Mount, well, we just grabbed a hat-trick, and he was simply insane throughout the whole game. A great finish there in that one. He starts out on the right-hand side in this game. You can see another backstick cross brought into him, chests it down, volleys it into the bottom corner for 2-0 in the first half. Bruno Fernandes then steps up from the spot to make it 3-0, and Wolves are getting battered. Well, actually, Wolves are 4th place in the Premier League at this point in our League, which is very weird. Mason Mount once again in from that right-hand side, grabbing his hat-trick in just the 46th minute before once again he is involved down the right-hand side, playing through Casemiro for a 5-0 demolition of Wolves, which means in the last 2 games alone, I've scored 9 goals. The tactic is coming together, and we haven't even got a bunch of our star players. Which means I am very, very happy to announce we are sitting in 6th place in the Premier League. 19 games played, 9 wins, 3 draws, 7 losses, a positive 5 goal difference, and 11 points with 5th and 1 point away from 4th. The front 3, Arsenal, Liverpool and City, probably as they will do in real life, have completely ran away with it. There is a 12-point gap from 3rd to 4th already, and it is incredibly tight from Spurs. I mean, really all the way down to Palace in 13th. There is just 7 points between 13th and 4th. So, I mean, there was times where we were potentially going to get sacked because we did have some poor results and the media was speculating our job. A 1-0 against Wolves, a loss against Bournemouth, a loss against Liverpool, and a 2-0 against Aston Villa. But we made the tactical tweaks before this game against Newcastle. And I mean, we haven't really turned around since. It has been an absolutely fantastic time, and it has all come in this 3-4-2-1 shape. You can see now in possession, I have moved our defensive midfielders up into central midfield, and rather than having Cunha or our left cam go inside, I am having them outside. Out of possession, we are then bringing them inside and dropping the centre mids back into DM. So you can see in the build-up phase in possession, this is how we look early on. Amad Diallo, more likely than Dallo, sitting nice and high with our right winger. In terms of the middle phase, much more what we're looking for, really, a 3-4-2-1 with Mount / the right winger sitting nice and high. And then as we look to build up, that right side centre-back, which is normally Lenny Yoro, helping in the build-up phase like he does in real life with a nice little triangle here. And then, of course, the inside forward, which is normally Mateusz Cunha, sitting nice and close to the striker. And this has been really, really effective for us out of possession as well, because we are much deeper than we previously used to be. And we are just much more compact. We still have Ahmad as that pressing wing-back on the right-hand side, being very, very aggressive like he is in real life, which, I mean, it's becoming a bit of a thing for us so far. Them 2 games have showed me we could be getting somewhere with the tactic. Now, I'm not going to go through the tactic fully in this video because I'm not sure it's completely correct yet. But I reckon maybe next episode, if not episode after, we will have this tactic completely figured out. But it's January. We've not even mentioned the fact that it's now time to make some transfers. Now, I haven't got, well, I didn't have a lot of money. It said 13 million. I've clicked continue once. I now have 67. We are going on a spending spree, ladies and gentlemen. We are going to have some fun in this episode then. If you haven't played FM26 since release night, there has been a hot fix. A lot of the bugs and a lot of the glitches are now fixed, which makes the game a lot more smooth, which is very, very enjoyable. We are getting inquiries for Tyler Fletcher and Kone. Lissandro Martinez is linked to a switch to Al Ali. He hasn't really managed to get back into the squad properly since, of course, his massive ACL injury. So, would I sell Leacher? I'm not 100% sure. I'd rather get rid of Luke Shaw personally. Responsibilities round up, worst performance, blah, 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 blah. And next up is Leeds, which will possibly be played live. It depends how we do in terms of transfers. Depends how mental we were able to go. Sego Kone, though, will be going absolutely nowhere. His progression hasn't really done what I hoped it would do. He is, again, still available in under 21's minutes and playing games down there, but isn't quite really smashing it, which is a bit of a shame. He does have a high potential, though, so we're not going to give up on him just yet. However, in terms of actual player sales, I'm not going to go mental in January. I think I'll probably only bring in 1, maybe 2 players. And I was definitely going to bring in a striker to back up Sesko. But has Zirkzee potentially swayed my head with that 4-2? Maybe. I'm not 100% sure if an opportunity arises, and I will be using the brand new transfer room in to set that all up. If an opportunity arises where we can get a striker in who can come in and be a proper backup to Sesko, we might go ahead and do that. In terms of rest of the players, we have already had a bid for Malacia, and I am trying to remove Manuel Ugarte from the squad. He just isn't very good on the ball. I don't really like him in the match engine. You can see training form, he's rubbish. He's not happy here at all. I'm not really surprised because I'm not playing him much. Other than that, though, there's not a lot of value I'm looking to extract out of this team. And actually, I don't think we'll get a lot of that until summer. Jadon Sancho, his contract is up. I currently don't know what I'm going to do with him. He's playing well at Aston Villa. I don't know whether I'm going to trigger the clause. If we get some like contract offers come through in the next sort of week or two in January from abroad, I might look at triggering the release clause. If not, I'm going to let him leave. Marcus Rashford, of course, at Barcelona, again, isn't doing very well. 3 games off the bench in Champions League, 3 starts only in the Spanish Liga. Very different to what's actually going on in real life over there, but probably not going to come back into the team purely on a realism factor. And then Rasmus Højlund is doing quite well in Napoli and is increasing his value. So again, hopefully going to be able to extract 30, 40, 50 million pounds out of him, and summer will be a big window, potentially for a star midfielder. But now I've got 67 million. That could come now. Now, in terms of midfielders we could potentially be interested in, there is 4 in particular on my list that we've all been linked to in real life. We've got Manu Kone to kick things off from AS Roma, a more recent link, potentially a little bit more of a budget option who, I mean, he was very good in FM previously and looks very good now as well. Angelo Stiller seems to be a very sort of like tactical person to go and get, and I'm a big fan of Stiller. Fantastic determination and composure, elite first touch as well, and defensively also very strong, but definitely also fits that playmaker build and would be quite cheap. Elliot Anderson, I mean, between 40 and 60 million for Elliot Anderson, that's not bad at all, is it? And potentially someone I can go and get, as well as Carlos Baleba from Brighton, who, I mean, we were so heavily linked to in the summer, but then hasn't had a very good sort of start to this Premier League season. So that's an interesting one. And also, of course, Adam Wharton at Crystal Palace is someone that's heavily linked and who I would love to go and get, but he would be all of my budget, and I don't want to spend all my budget, to be honest, on one position. I think this squad needs improving in more ways than just splashing cash on Adam Wharton. I think you can see that from the amount of times I've had to use sort of under 18s players, which, I mean, just definitely aren't up to scratch. And while I'm in absolutely no rush, we are on the 1st of January. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go and scout all 4 of these players until we know what they're all about. And I'm going to go in some sort of in-depth comparison. We're going to look at sort of the in-play, in-possession and out-of-possession roles that both of them can play and see what we go and get. I mean, I've got to say straight off the bat, I think Elliot Anderson and Manu Kone potentially don't really fit what I'm looking to do. I'm looking to have someone next to Kobbie Mainoo in the future. We're potentially moving Bruno up to cam, or maybe even leaving in the summer. We're compared to Angelo Stiller and Baleba, who are much more that deeper option, more combative. They could be the options we end up going for, but we'll see what the staff have to say. And we also have Gilberto Moura on this shortlist as well, because I think I want to bring him in. He is one of the best wonder kids on FM26, I imagine. Anyway, his potential in real life is elite. He is heavily linked to loads of big clubs in the world, including Manchester United in real life. And I think it'll be fun to attempt to bring him in and see what we can do with him in just 2 seasons. If you guys are enjoying the January bumper episode, please make sure you're smashing the like button and commenting down below who you want to see me sign in the summer. If I didn't get your man right now, who is it going to be in the summer? Of course, subscribe to the channel and hype the video as well. Back into the action. And I thought I'd try my luck, and we've been told to stuff it from his agent, Dante Cruz, as he doesn't want to join the club. So the Gilberto Moura deal's off the cards. But don't worry, I am determined to bring in a wonder kid in this window as well. We are looking out for 3-star minimum potential players, 1-star current ability players, and we have got a lot of players back from that already. I mean, if you guys haven't seen Franco Mastantuono on FM26, wow, oh wow, he looks absolutely insane, and I'm potentially even looking at bringing him in on loan because of how good he looks and how fun it could be to have him in the club. I do also think, though, we could potentially get him on loan next season for completely free, compared if we get him now to the end of the season, we won't be able to get him next season. So that's someone I'm keeping an eye out on. And there is also, I've clicked the wrong one there, but there is also Rodrigo Moura, who we could go and get for £60 million. I mean, that would be pretty fun, wouldn't it? He would be pretty insane. And then the final thing I want to do is head to the transfer room and see if any clubs have a striker that will fit my bill. Now, I don't really know what I'm looking for, to be honest. Of course, Xerxes more of a deep line forward, Sesko more of a target forward or centre forward. And I don't know what I want. So I'm going to leave the in possession as anything. We're looking for a transfer, and I'm not too fussed about age, as long as they're not like about to retire. So we'll take under 32. And to be fair, I want someone that can start right now. Probably isn't too expensive. So I'm going to go 20 minimum, submit the requirements and see what we get back from that as well. The only other player that I am potentially going to sell is Diogo Dalot, and purely because I know everyone watching this video will want me to sell him because he's not been very good in real life recently. Only issue is he's been really good in the game for me. 3 assists in 9 starts, a 7.02 average rating. But overall, his stats just aren't actually that good. And I think it's more the tactic that he's performing in. And he is wanted by a lot of different clubs, 4 clubs in Saudi and PSG. So I'm going to discuss not a contract with his agent. That would be the wrong thing to do right now. I will discuss market interest. We are keen on selling him. There will be a couple of offers. Let's invite them in and see what offers we get for Diogo Dalot. And well, that did not take long at all. In fact, literally about 12 hours in game, PSG and Al Hilal both come in with £43 million. I believe they're both just straight up 43 million as well. I mean, yeah, absolutely. I'll accept both. I don't really care where he goes, to be honest. Both of them, however, will be getting accepted. I imagine he's going to pick Saudi purely because of the money. But Diogo Dalot, for me, is someone that in real life shows a lot of passion. But technically wise, especially in this Ruben Amorim system and this season, it's not been very good. But Diogo, I do love you. You show some passion for the United badge. Now, we've seen a news article that Newcastle were interested in bringing in Angelo Stiller. And after further scouting, I am also interested, especially because his release clause is just £35 million. And I think it makes sense to put an offer in, see what he says. He'll choose us or Newcastle, and hopefully he chooses Manchester United. And pretty interestingly, as I go to offer him the contract, he has more interested in both Newcastle and Chelsea. So it's going to cost a lot of money to bring him in, and I am not going to break the wage structure to bring him in. I want to be clever with this save. We are going to take off that, and we're going to suggest the promise and see what we can do on the contract. 220 is a bit steep. I don't really want to be paying that for someone that's currently 60 to 87. I'd like to settle in around 180. So if we negotiate down from this, we should be able to get him at around the 180 mark. There we go. 170 accepted. £7.5 million loyalty bonus is a lot. But, you know, he's a good player. He's one of the best midfielders on the game and will massively upgrade our midfield position. With Bruno, with Kobe, he would be elite. Before we find out about any future transfers, we have got to go to Ellen Road and take it to Leeds United. And in this game, Benjamin Sesko showed his versatility with an outrageous solo goal to get us off to a 1-0 start, and then a back post header to give it 2-0. In this game, once again, we dominated 21 shots to their 5, showing this tactic, we really have cracked it. And I have had a few messages asking how people can download this tactic. So I will chuck it on the Patreon for you guys that are helping support over there. Throughout the course of FM26, there's going to be loads of bits up there. Tactics every week, rebuild files every week, shortlists, scouting filters, everything like that. So if you guys are able to support the Patreon and get a bunch of different things as well, that'll be linked down in the description below. And as you guys watch this, the Amorim tactic will be there. But enough of this football nonsense. It's transfers time. It's January. And the first thing we do is say goodbye to Tyrell Malacia. Someone very unfortunate with injuries in his time at Manchester United, but it is now time to move on, and we've got 3.2 million for him. And then next up, we need to check out our transfer in requirement responses, because we have had some strikers come back, and I want to see if anyone here is particularly interesting to me. Vitor Roque coming in from Palmeiras could be very good fun. Esposito from Inter Milan looks good. Matthias Abline from Nantes. He looks all right, a different profile, about 5'10". Quite quick, but maybe not quite going to work in the system and not good enough. Mohamed Ali Cho at Nice. Troy Parrott at Alkmaar could help fit sort of European registration rules, but doesn't look that good. Zito Luvumbo was unreal in last year's game. He looks amazing as a winger once again this year, but not quite as a striker. Matias Arezzo still kicking about and looking decent, but no one here particularly that is striking my interest. And I'm not going to go balls to the wall for a striker, especially when we need a midfielder and probably now a right back to replace Dalot. Now, Xerxes is being very difficult about moving on, so I think I'm actually going to keep him, but still potentially look at a striker and may use him more as a cam, as maybe that's something we're not going to go and sign. I was potentially going to bring Mastantuono onto loan now, but maybe Joshua Xerxes can be a cam option for us for this second half of the season and Mastantuono next year. And the next Premier League game against Burnley proved exactly my point. We just didn't have anything to bring on in this game to get the 3 points. And in fact, it was a Casemiro screamer in the 93rd minute, which got us a goal. And after 24 shots, I just felt like we couldn't change anything. There was nothing up front to really bring on and push the game to the next level. We have also just played a game against Blackpool in the FA Cup, and I played a lot of youngsters in this game, and it was great to see Shea Lacey with a brace for assist and a Jim Thwaite assist as well. The team we used included Yuel Helerefeu at right back, who was a young attacking right wing back that United have got in the academy. Jim Thwaite started, as did Shea Lacey and Gabriel Bioncherry, and all of them really impressed. Highest average rating of anyone was in fact Shea Lacey. Yuel Helerefeu with a 6.9, Jim Thwaite with a 7.2, and a Bioncherry sadly a 6.5. Not amazing, but a pretty good day at the office at home to Blackpool, seeing the youth stars show up for Manchester United. And he has just scored his final goal for the club as well, as we say goodbye to Diogo Dalot for 43 million. See you later, Diogo. Which now brings our transfer budget up to £111 million to bring in a striker, a DM, and a right wing back. Actually, no, a left wing back, because Dalot has played a lot more there, and Mazraoui will be back from AFCON, and he can cover for Ahmad. Now, I'm not quite decided if I'm bringing someone in to replace Dorgu or to facilitate him or rotate with him. But what I've got is a shortlist and a scout setting out for a bunch of young players and some stars as well to start. Fran Garcia and Carlos Augusto would both be starters. And then Yomar Medina, Liberto Casace and Harrison Burrows would all be rotation / backup for Dorgu. I'm going to scout them all and see which one we go for. But before I confirm to you guys who we are going for, we are securing our first signing with Angelo Stiller joining the club for £34.5 million. He's decided to join Manchester United over Chelsea, Newcastle, Inter Milan, who all put offers in. And thankfully, Stiller is now ours. And I am buzzing with that because he looks absolutely elite for what we are looking for in this midfield. His defensive stats are good enough, but it's his aggression, his passing, his composure, his decision-making, his fitness is what we need. And Angelo Stiller and Bruno Fernandes as a midfield duo, that could be something this season which carries us into top 4. As could the striker signing that I have made. The transfer has been done, the contract has been sent, and I'm waiting for the all clear. But before I tell you guys who that is, we've got a face up against Manchester City, and it's time to get payback for that 4-0. Where Angelo Stiller makes his Premier League debut in an attacking Manchester United side that sees Brian Mbeumo start as a right wing-back. Last time out, Manchester City came away 4-0 winners, but the manager of United is not looking at backing down. City in 3rd place, United in 5th. It is the Battle of Manchester, red versus blue. And there is payback. There is blood on the hands. And Manchester United will be doing everything they can to get all 3 points today at a beautiful Old Trafford. In terms of tactics for this match, I am not shutting up shop and doing what we did against Liverpool away from home. We are at Old Trafford. We are going for 3 points. After 25 minutes, we do have our first piece of action in the game. And it's Manchester City on the ball, sitting quite deep on it as well. I've got to say, we have been the team on top in this game mostly. But we know how quickly that can change, especially with Phil Foden, Jeremy Doku and Erling Haaland. But a great save from Senel Armand keeps the game at 0-0. Free kick and a chance for United then. Bruno Fernandes over the ball, whips it in, back post, Harry Maguire off the line from Nathan Ake. It drops to Cunha, back to Bruno Fernandes, and that one is over the bar. Nearly 1-0, a Harry Maguire header. We've heard that one before. Look at Stiller, man-marking Phil Foden. I love already the passion he is showing. And look at him. Oh, he nearly won the ball back. I need to see a bit more firmness in that challenge, Angelo. But great to see him do that. And Cobby sitting next to him, intercepting the ball. Falls to Mateus Cunha, Bruno Fernandes, Benjamin Sesko. Oh, it hits the crossbar. And Gianluigi Donnarumma falls on the ball. Nearly a fantastic goal there from United. Intercepting the ball with Mainu. A great ball through from Bruno, but not quite in the back of the net from Sesko. And that gets us to half-time, where we started the game on top and City have grown into it, but it is still all level. Phil Foden in that little pocket of space finds Josko Gvardiol, and Mbeumo, with his slight defensive lack of awareness there, does step out and gets caught. It does drop to Foden, backstick cross, Haaland over the bar. 49 minutes on the clock. City would have a chance there, but I am quite confident in how we're defending here. Now on the hour mark, I am going to make a tactical change, and it is going to be having Bruno and Stiller together. We are going to move Mbeumo up to right wing back as well. But the issue we've got is right back. Because we sold Dalot without signing a replacement, and because Mazraoui is away, we literally have no one that can play there. So we are going to struggle to fill this position. And I might even just keep it as Cobby, which sounds crazy, but he could be the best option. Defensive stats are really good, and so is his pace, and so is his crossing. He's just going to be a bit out of position, but I think Cobby is the smartest choice. I mean, what's not smart is not putting a backup right back on the bench. And City do now have a corner ball from that side, whipped into the back post. It is headed clear, but it does drop to Doku, intercepted, and it drops to Rico Lewis. Blocked on the line there, but the ball does drop to Rico, and he makes it 1-0. Now, because of that goal, I'm going to drop back down to what we were doing, but I'm going to bring on Joshua Zirkzee in that right wing role, and actually move him onto the left-hand side and have Cunha on the right and Mbeumo as the right wing back, and go back to being a bit more aggressive with the wing backs, as we need to go out there and get a goal. I do not want to see another loss to Manchester City. And hopefully we can see a response straight away, as Zirkzee is on the ball, finding Benjamin Sesko, who plays a lovely ball out wide to Dorgu, in to Joshua Zirkzee, in that cam roll now down the left-hand side. Can he beat his man or set it back? He sets it in to Bruno, to Dorgu, whipped in, Cunha. Just wide of the mark. That one never looked likely to go in, but straight away the changes are making a difference. In the 88th minute, with some tactical changes, we have managed to force through a highlight. The question is, will it be for us or will City get us on the break? Bruno Fernandes does win the ball back, but dilly-dallies, and Foden finds Savinho, not a bad substitution, on that left-hand side, who drives into the byline, shoots, and it goes wide of the mark. I am going to do the unthinkable here, and in possession we are going to stick a centre back up top and see if we can get lucky. And we have built something quite mental here. In possession, we are going to a box build up with two wide players and a box four up front. Out of possession, we are going to leave De Ligt higher up, Sesko in the cam roll, and see if we can get something going there. It is 5 minutes to go. It is kitchen sink time at Old Trafford. We will watch the rest of the game as we look to try and get something. City wasting time. And it looks like they're going to run away from Old Trafford with a 1-0 win, but a much better performance. We had the 4-0 demolition to them last time out. Of course, this one at Old Trafford, I'd liked to have get 3 points, but it is a very hard game. And with the players we still haven't quite got, you know, Ahmad makes a huge difference. Not really having a proper right wing back in this game, I think it did hurt us. And also, the striker we bring in now, well, he's certainly going to make a big difference in games like this. So I'm excited to announce the signing of young Spanish striker from Real Madrid, Gonzalo. The youngster that dominated the Club World Cup and looked like a reincarnation of Raul up front for Madrid. I've signed him here for United. He has got some decent physical stats, some really good mentals and decent technicals as well. Of course, just 21 years of age. And what I love about him, he can play right wing, left wing and striker. And I think he gives us such a better option off the bench. And I'm confident that Gonzalo will become one of the best goal scorers for us throughout this video. And really not the video, the whole entire series. And we also have our new left-back signing. It is Maximiliano Araujo, signed for £24.5 million from Sporting. And Maximiliano looks fantastic and exactly what I'm looking for at left wing-back. I'll be honest, I went for all 5 that were on my shortlist. Couldn't get a single one of them. So I moved on, and Maximiliano actually, I think, could be one of the better options anyway. He hugs the touchline, which I absolutely love to see, and runs with the ball often. He's got great physicals. Mental stats are outrageous, and and technically, 14 crossing, 15 dribbling, and really good defensively. I think he's probably going to be better than Patrick Dorgu. If we were to compare the two, we will see exactly what the stats look like. So just so you know, apparently this graph is the wrong way round than it should be in terms of colours. So if I'm right in saying Araujo is blue and Dorgu is green. I believe that's correct. And yeah, you can see that because of the pace of Dorgu. So you can see Araujo is just a much better, well-rounded player. And that's kind of what I need to bring in and develop Dorgu as the rotation. So we've just potentially made 2 starting changes with Stiller and Araujo and a backup striker in Gonzalo. And we are going to see all of them feature in our next game against Arsenal. Now, against Arsenal last time out, it was a 0-0 draw on the opening day of the season. This time, though, we have learnt the tactic system, hopefully much better. And with our new signings, Araujo starting and Stiller back-to-back games in the midfield, I'm confident we can do something in this game. I am going to be shutting up shop. A flat back 5, the defensive variation of the system we play here at Manchester United. But hopefully in this game, we can do what we weren't able to do against Liverpool. Get a smash and grab late winner. That is the plan, and hopefully we can come away from the Emirates with all 3 points. Now, this is how things went in the Liverpool game. They had a corner early on and scored it. This time we managed to clear the ball, but Arsenal are still in possession with Ben White, who finds Leandro Trossard to Calafiori, back to Trossard, into Decky Rice, and a great save from Senna Lamans. Let's hold this at 0-0, please, lads. We do also have the good news that AFCON is over, so all Mbumo, Mazraoui and Ahmad are all now back into the team. And it is Manchester United who have the next highlight, and it is a Bruno Fernandes free kick. To score from here would be outrageous. It is just over the bar. And I've got to say, at half-time, it is clear to see the tactic is working. We are had 10 shots to their 3. We are being dominated in possession, but we are frustrating Arsenal, and that is exactly what we need to do. Arsenal are looking to build out from the back, and of course we will let them have the ball in these areas. You can see just how defensive this is and how frustrating this is for Arsenal, but someone that can pick apart a pass is Martin Odegaard to Kai Havertz, but he is offside, so it does not matter. It is absolutely fine. Kai, you can score that one, but that's the only one you're scoring. Need to go out there now and stay tight. We can't let that happen too often. And it's now our chance to look to build out from the back. We are still being nice and aggressive when we are on the pitch. So it is not just the fact that we are being negative off the pitch as well. And Mbumo, a great ball through to Mazraoui. He's got loads of space on the right-hand side. Cuts in. Oh, and Kepa saves it. That was nearly the counter-attacking move that we needed to see to make it 1-0. But my God, a good save from Kepa. A great one from Mazraoui. And on the hour mark, we are making our changes. Mbumo stays on the pitch, but Ahmad goes on to the left wing position, and Gonzalo replaces Shesko on a poor 6.43. It was always going to be a tough game for him, but now the more intricate play of Gonzalo, can we unlock Arsenal? And look at that, the high press from Bruno Fernandes does find Brighton Mbumo over on the left-hand side. Araujo finds Mbumo back on the ball. Can he send it back to Bruno? He can. Bruno Fernandes in Gonzalo. Oh, he has to score it. 60 seconds into his Manchester United debut, Gonzalo had the chance, but puts the ball wide and high. Oh, that is gutting. That would have been absolutely perfect to kick this off. It is Saliba on the ball now with Zubimendi. Merino plays it into Kai Havertz. Has to try and go over Mazraoui, but he can't do that. And we do manage to regain possession. This tactic is working a treat. And Lisandro Martinez just kicks the ball to them. Well done, Lisandro. Very, very happy with that one. Zubimendi into Kai Havertz. Switches out. That time it does work to Trossard. And we have to stop him from getting into the box. And Mazraoui does it. It is our chance once again to build out from the back. And a ball from Angelo Stiller nearly finds Mbumo. But it is Arsenal that gain possession. Havertz and Odegaard linking up to find Bukayo Saka. He's going to drift inside. Beat the new man at left back. And Kai Havertz pokes home. Oh, for 1-0 in 78 minutes. So we nearly executed the plan perfectly. But Arsenal do manage to get that goal. And the question is, do we now switch into our normal system? I think with 5 minutes to go, we have to attempt to go out there and get a goal. I am very happy with how the defensive system, though, is performing when we are using it. It done exactly what I wanted to do, apart from one little chance. We are going to bring Dorgu on at left wing back, Luke Shaw on at left centre back as well, and Kobe on for Stiller to attempt to try and go for a winner. And before the changes have even taken place, we have got a highlight. And it is going to be an Arsenal starting with possession. It is Odegaard on the ball, drifting inside to find Kai Havertz, into Calafiori in that inverted wing-back role, to Gabriel, to Marino, a ball through to Havertz. He's through once again. Oh, he's hit the post. We've been saved by an inch. And then changes need to happen now because we need to get the new boys on the pitch and go for this draw at least. And sadly, in the same way the Manchester City game ends in a 1-0 defeat, so does this one away at the Emirates. But again, I've got to say, there is so many dramatic improvements to what we started this series with. The way we're learning the tactical system is definitely working. So to finish the episode off, let's go and batter Fulham and finish off January. Now, I wouldn't class it as a battering, but I would class it as 3 points on the board. Once again, Benjamin Sesko, an assist from Brighton and Mbeumo, making it 1-0. Fulham grabbing a goal back from the set piece with Joachim Andersen 30 seconds later, but in the 61st minute, it was Brighton and Mbeumo. Thank God he's back from AFCON. Down the right-hand side, find Bruno Fernandes to fire home. And that 3 points sticks us 5th place in the league. We have, of course, got the FA Cup and Premier League to play for, but depending on how things go, we could just go to the end of the season from here now. So episode 4 is going to be an absolute banger. If you guys are excited for the end of season number 1 in this Manchester United save, make sure you subscribe to the channel, liking the video and hyping it as well, because that helps out more than you know. And I'll speak to you guys next time. We are back today on our FM26 Manchester United save, where last time out we had an insane January transfer window, making 3 signings in Angelo Stiller, Gonzalo and Araujo, improving the team that was already battling to attempt to get a top 4 place. And in today's episode, we are finishing off the Premier League season. Can we qualify for the Champions League? And there is also a chance for you guys to win a copy of FM26 in today's video. So without further ado, let's get into it and update you guys on how things have gone, and then we'll talk about that giveaway. And that giveaway is going to be based entirely around Benjamin Sesko, who has been simply incredible throughout the second half of this season and is pushing up to being the Premier League top goal scorer. He grabbed a brace in this game against Spurs. They did grab one back, but it was a convincing 2-1 victory. We also managed to beat West Ham 2-1 away from home and Everton 2-1 also away from home. But it was this performance against Crystal Palace which really put a smile on my face, because the new look front three of Manchester United were just incredible. An outrageous goal from Brighton and Mbeumo gave us a 1-goal early lead before Bruno Fernandes drove to the left-hand side to find big Benjamin Sesko in the box to make it 2 in 35 minutes. The third is going to come as Ahmad finds Mbeumo once again on the right-hand side. And who's he going to find in the middle but Benjamin Sesko? A real fox in the box for us so far in this season. And this game was very similar to that of Brighton, which has just happened in real life. The 4-2 victory. Well, this one was also a 4-2 victory where we dominated some parts of the game and some parts of the game not so much. You can see our brand new striker Gonzalo linking up with Mateusz Cunha there to make it 4-1 for a last gasp goal from Palace. Gave them a 4-2 to come away with, which is better than 4-0 or 4-1, isn't it? So fair play to them. A great goal from Yeri Pino, but I am absolutely buzzing. That is 4 wins on the bounce. But sadly, that all came undone in the FA Cup, where sadly we won't be lifting that this season. A 4-1 loss to Spurs knocked us out of the competition in a pretty dismal performance, which is a bit of a shame because I'd have loved to win a domestic cup this season. The Premier League game that followed that was a 0-0 draw away from Newcastle, which came before the absolute demolition of Aston Villa. A Benjamin Sesko hat-trick and a goal from Brighton and Mbeumo. That is a big result, which puts us in the Premier League officially into the top 4. We are on 53 points, 3 points clear of 5th place Newcastle and 8 points clear of 6th place Bournemouth, which almost guarantees us Champions League football next year, because the top 5 in the Premier League always nearly is a Champions League, and we are much more clear than I thought we would be at this point. Newcastle have also played an extra game as well. So this episode, we're not really fighting for too much in the league, which is why we're going to add a nice little twist. I'm setting the challenge for Benjamin Sesko to finish the season with more goal contributions than appearances. Things currently stand 27 starts, 25 goal contributions. If he doesn't end the season with more goal contributions than appearances, I will give away a copy of FM26 to one of you guys in the comments. If he matches it, I will still give away a comment. So let me know in the comments down below which save you guys are playing on FM26 and which rebuild you want to see next on FM26. Because I haven't yet seen the Nottingham Forest one. It was an absolute banger, and we have a Chelsea one coming out in the next day or two as well. So the plan for the end of this season is very simple. I want to give this game against Bournemouth a proper go at giving a win, and then we play Chelsea, and I also want to try and get my payback against Liverpool, as we have them at home and we could potentially stop them from winning the league. They are currently level on top of the points with Manchester City, but of course this is a big one for Liverpool, because if they win this league title, they will end up winning more Premier Leagues than Manchester United, and that will go to 21. And we can't have Liverpool overtaking us, and we are going to be the team to attempt to stop them. So let's start off with this game against Bournemouth, and then we'll take on potentially Chelsea, but definitely Liverpool. This is a huge game, Bournemouth versus Manchester United. It's Andoni Iraola versus Kempy, one of the best managers in the world, and Andoni Iraola are about to battle. It is Manchester United versus Bournemouth at Vitality Park. And we're going to kick this off with the first highlight of the game, just 1 minute and 50 seconds in. Oh my, and there it is. It's Benjamin Sesko. I told you guys this man was on form. And remember, he might actually somehow get more goal contributions than appearances. And if he does that, I don't have to give a copy of FM26. So I'd be buzzing if he can do that. I won't be scumming it. I won't be playing him off the bench or anything like that. Whenever he's fit, he will start. But that's a pretty good start to the challenge, as he already scores in this game, and if he grabs another, he'll be within just 2 goal contributions of getting that challenge. But it is now Bournemouth on the ball, 5 minutes in, and looking to build out from the back. Can they play through the United press? It looks like they might be able to. Evan Nielsen, Justin Cliver linking up and putting it in to the back of the net to make it 1-1. An incredibly fast start to this one. And it is Bruno Fernandes on the ball, playing out to Aidan Heaven, who has had a lot more game time in the second half of this season as well, before Sesko finds Mbumo down that right-hand side. Can he cut it back or get it in to Ahmad? He can, to Sesko, to Ahmad. Oh, I thought that was going to be an assist, and the Sesko goal contributions, but Ahmad bashes the crossbar and keeps this game at 1-1. Manchester United, the team on top in this one. The midfield pivot of Bruno Fernandes and Mainu keeping this game rather than bringing Stiller in. A great ball from Dorgu. Almost finds Sesko's head, but it does pop out to Ahmad. Cobby is an option on the edge. He finds Brighton Mbumo. A great touch, an outrageous finish. And we are starting to see some beautiful moves. I fully believe I have cracked the Ruben Amorim system, and we are starting to play some beautiful football. The link-up play down the right-hand side that you guys have seen in the highlights from the games before this game, and then from this game as well. We are just playing some stunning football. A reminder, this tactic is available on the Patreon as well. To anyone that wants to download it, the link is down in the description. Can we make it 3-1? A Bruno Fernandes corner sits into the back post, and Matthias de Ligt heads home to give us the 2-goal advantage. Patrick Dorgu down this left-hand side. Can we break down Bournemouth to grab a 4th? If we do, there will be some substitutions. Benjamin Sesko, a great switch out to Ahmad on the right-hand side. Beats his man with ease. Goes for an effort, drops to Sesko, but he puts it wide. Ahmad and Mbumo down this right-hand side once again. It is Lenny Yoro on the ball, driving out from the back, finding Ahmad into Mbumo, into Sesko, holding up the ball, given space to charge into, drives down the right-hand side, beats his man, and a great save from Petrovic. I tell you what, Sesko is trying to score and assist. He's trying not to give away a copy of FM. That's not me, that's Big Ben. Bournemouth with the ball in our box. Tyler Adams, that is an absolute joke. A deflection. We're going to have to watch that again, because that happened within seconds of the highlight starting. And Tyler Adams, with a deflected effort, goes into the back of the net. And apparently I've got opposition highlights turned off, so apologies for that one. Bruno Fernandes, though, with the free kick for us in the 84th minute. We're wasting a bit of time now, and I haven't even made any substitutions because I haven't felt the need to. And then Mbumo, nearly sticks it in to make it 4-2. We are going to make a change now, though. We're going to just go a little bit more defensive. We'll get Mazraoui on. We'll get Maguire on as well and switch around the back three. We'll get Stiller and Casemiro on in the midfield as well, just to shore things up. And we will bring on Mason Mount for Matheus Cunha. A 5 change happening all at once. And let's hope this is not a counter-attacking highlight, because Dorgu has given the ball away and Bournemouth have possession. A 3-3 after going 3-0 up would be devastating. Senesi on the ball. Senesi finding Justin Kluivert to Evan Nielsen. Offside, thankfully. That was close. And another highlight. Casemiro. I love that. Put your foot on the ball, mate. Let him press you. Just waste a bit of time in the middle of the park. Casemiro and Angelo Stiller linking up. Matthias de Ligt finds Benjamin Sesko out to Angelo Stiller. Finds Dorgu to the left-hand side. Into Mason Mount. Mason Mount beats his man with ease. Puts it nearly in the top stanchion. A great save from Petrovic. We are now on cautious and time-wasting. And there's 4 minutes to go to see this game out. And that will be the game. We come away victorious, and the league table looks will look even better once it's updated, as we will go another 3 points clear and all but guarantee Champions League football. So if nothing goes wrong, we will most likely just go to the Liverpool game, because we are 6 points clear of Newcastle. We are 11 points clear of Bournemouth. And even if Aston Villa win both their games, we're still going to be 8 points clear. So rather than worry about the rest of these games, let's come back for Liverpool and attempt to upset their title charge. Although actually, I may have spoken too soon, because our last 2 results have not been good. We have drawn to Chelsea and lost to Brentford, and I am worried we potentially might not get Champions League football. We did manage to beat Leeds 1-0 thanks to a goal from Patrick Dorgu, but we haven't scored in 2 games. And Sesko hasn't scored either. So it looks like someone in the comments is probably going to get a copy of FM26. So make sure you're commenting down below, because unless Sesko scores like 6 against Liverpool here, it is pretty much wraps. I know I've set the team up for this Liverpool game, and I'm not confident, purely based on the last 2 games. So let's see how this goes. Earlier on this season, Liverpool demolished Manchester United 4-0 at Anfield, but the Red Devils are looking to get payback and to stop Liverpool's title charge. A victory here for Liverpool could all but push them clear of the rest, and a victory here for Manchester United could get them top 4 football. So it is all to play for in this huge Manchester United versus Liverpool Premier League game with just 4 games to go. This is a big one. And it seems to be Liverpool with the early impetus in this game, and Alex Isak's switch out to Mohamed Salah gets them down the right-hand side into McAllister, back into Joe Gomez, into McAllister, into Gravenberch, in to Isak, who hits the post, block the Salah cross, and we survive. I have not gone with a defensive formation today because we are at home. We should be able to take this game to Liverpool based on our form throughout most of this season anyway. So we'll see if that's the case or if we live to regret it. Come on then, United. Let's attempt to build out through the Liverpool press. Here's a ball into Mbumo, in to Sesko, out wide to Cunha, now wide to Araujo, down the left-hand side. Sesko in the box. Araujo, can he beat his man? Yes, he can. Can he go all alone? Oh, he can, and a good save from Mamardashvili keeps it a 0-0. And it is Liverpool once again with possession with 40 minutes on the clock, but a poor ball there from Florian Wirtz gives Ahmad a chance to distribute out wide to Araujo on the left-hand side. He beats his man, falls to Cunha, great ball through. Benjamin Sesko, 1-on-1, beats the outsliding Alisson and slots home for 1-0, a counter-attacking move, and Manchester United take the lead in the first half against Liverpool. And that does bring us to half-time, and I think the smart thing to do here is to drop into the defensive system now that we have got the lead. I'm not going to make any changes. Ahmad is going to stay as the traditional right back, but that is a very good first half. Chiesa with the ball down the left-hand side. Can they penetrate the Manchester United flat back 5? That looks quite easy. Florian Wirtz on it, down the right left-hand side. Finds Chiesa, back to Wirtz. Wirtz into the box, drifts past a man, and a good save from Senna Larmans. And United now with possession with Larmans, finding Yoro. This is a very deep start for United with a Liverpool high press. They will attempt to play through. Aiden Heaven finds a great ball in there to Matheus Cunha with an outrageous switch of pass to Mbumo. Can he? Oh, he had to find that He hits the crossbar, and it's a good effort, but you had to find Shesko in the box to make it 2. That seems like a poor decision. And now we're 55 minutes on the clock, and it's time to start thinking about changes, maybe. Depends if we get a second goal here. We will definitely shut up shop and bring on Mazraoui for Ahmad. It is Araujo down the left-hand side, being tracked by the Liverpool man. Araujo whips in. Sesko back post header, and it's 2-0 to United. And this could be huge for the top 4 race and the title race. A Benjamin Sesko brace. We said if he scored 6, he might be able to stop you guys from getting a copy. So keep going, Big Ben. We shall see if he's going to do it or not. And we have now gone more defensive, but it is straight away a Liverpool corner ball. McAllister whips it in, front post, onto the crossbar and cleared by Lissandro Martinez. Another Liverpool corner then, Wirtz whips it in. Oh, it's bobbled about the box a whole bunch. Mazraoui does get it clear though, but it does go straight to McAllister. Into Van Dijk, puts it wide of the mark, and with 20 to go, we are holding on. It's Shea Lacey on the pitch now, on the right-hand side, finding the ball to Mazraoui, who goes a bit too far forward for my liking. I would like to have kept possession there, lads. And now Wirtz can switch the ball out to Salah on this right-hand side. He is dangerous. He gets all the way to the byline, and Lissandro Martinez brings him down. That is a silly challenge, and it is a guaranteed Liverpool penalty. Can Salah give Liverpool a chance, or will Senna Lamans get another penalty save? This season he has had multiple already. Can he grab another? Yes, he can! Senna Lamans with the penalty save. For some reason, he is unbelievable at them on this game. 85 minutes now. It is Curtis Jones on the field, finding Wirtz into a Ekitike. Switch out to Salah once again. Can he beat Martinez? Martinez brings him down. I love that from Leacher, but I don't like that from Joe Gomez. Sticks it over the bar. And Martinez has got a clear thing here. Bring down Salah at any opportunity, and it could work to give us a huge 3 points. A very quick free kick there taken by Wirtz. Finds Ekitike, back to Wirtz, back to Ekitike. Blocked, Isak. Oh, he does score. And with 2 minutes of normal time and a bunch of extra to come, we have to start time wasting now. It is 2-1 to United. This is not the time to bottle this game. Let's bring on Casemiro, another one who will bring down Salah at every opportunity. And thankfully, we managed to hold on to the 90th minute, and we get the victory, the payback over Liverpool. If we check out the league table, that'll give us 63 points, and Liverpool will stay on 80. A huge result, which does now secure us Europa League football, which is a good thing. But a reminder, we need to win the Champions League in the first 2 seasons, are giving another copy of FM26 away, as well as potentially if Sesko does not fix up in these last 3 games. He now needs to get, with 3 games to go, he needs to get, 5 more goals and assist contributions than games played. So 8 goals or assists in 3 games. I'm not sure that's going to happen, but we'll give it a good go. And with the weekend's games done, with 3 to go, we are 6 points clear of 6th place Spurs and 3 points clear of Newcastle. Our final 3 games are Sunderland, Forest and Brighton. Hopefully we can grab 9 points and secure Champions League football next season. And with the final day of the season here, I am proud to announce another victory, and Manchester United top 4 football on 72 points. The game against Brighton was actually a very difficult one. 2-1 victory in the end. We started a bunch of youngsters and we had a good time while doing so as well. But that for me is an incredibly positive first season. 8 points clear of Newcastle in 5th, securing Champions League football on 72 points. There is a big way to go to win the title, but the dream is alive for season 2 to win the Champions League. And I know what you guys are wondering. Did Benjamin Sesko score 8 goals in 3 games? No, he didn't. All right, he didn't do it. So you guys have got a copy of FM26. If you get your comments in down below, I will announce the winner in the next episode. So the massive transfer special is going to be for episode number 5 we are on now. I'll announce the winner to this giveaway there. So if you guys haven't subscribed yet, make sure you subscribe to the channel, and of course just spam the comment section. If there's 5,000 views in this video and there's not at least 1,000 comments, I don't know what's happened, because it's a free copy of FM26, people. But a little recap on the season: 30 goal contributions for Sesko. I mean, that is an unbelievable season. I did not expect at the start of this year Sesko to grab this many goals. And I am very impressed. I'm very happy that I've managed to get him really ticking as well. And part of the way we've done that is the tactical tweak we made to bring him in as a deep lying forward rather than the complete forward really worked. He just opened up so much more space for him, and he's been an absolute menace in front of goal. So if you haven't used Benjamin Sesko as a deep lying forward yet, give it a try. Sorting by goals, our next top goal scorer was Mason Mount, actually, on 8 goals and 6 assists. Brumo only grabbing 14 goal contributions, and Cunha with 13. Not exactly lighting up, but doing fairly well. Bruno Fernandes, 7 goals, 6 assists. His worst return for Manchester United in a long time, but most of the season in that DM position. And Mason Mount, actually, with 14 goal contributions. Very, very impressive. Highest rating, Chido with a 7.3, Sesko with a 7.22, Ahmad with a 7.14, 11 goal contributions for him. Jim Thwaites in his 3 games played, 2 starts, 1 off the bench and 1 assist. Good to see. And Patrick Dorgu on the left-hand side as well, doing very, very well. Aidan Heaven, 15 starts, a 6.99. Definitely someone to keep around for next season. He has really impressed me this year. Based on the fact his stats aren't that good, he just performed very well in the match engine, which is awesome to see. Lenny Yoro in there as well was great. Delict was there as well. Stella Larmans, a decent season for him, a 6.92. A little bit of progression, which is good to see because he does start off a little bit on the lower side, but hopefully with his progression now, he'll become an absolute superstar. Sadly, we didn't manage to stop Liverpool from winning the Premier League, which is a big old shame. So they are now on 21 league titles. And I suppose that adds another little challenge for next year, doesn't it? To get us back on level peggings with Liverpool on 21. In terms of some of the stats, most goals scored is going to go to Liverpool with us in 4th place on 64. I'd expect our defensive record to be not great on 46. There's something we massively shored up at the back end of the season, but again, something we're looking to do better next year. Liverpool with 25 clean sheets is outrageous. 8 clear of Man City is crazy. They are so good on this year's FM. Going into individual player stats as well, let's check out some of the best players. Highest average rating, Erling Haaland, Saka, Voltmada, Wirtz, Salah, Marmoush, and our highest was Benjamin Sesko, as we know. In terms of goal scorers, it is Haaland, it is Calvert-Lewin level with Sesko in 2nd. So good to see Sesko up there for that one. That is very good. And can we see assists in here as well? Somewhere will be assists. It's Florian Wirtz, number 1, and Ahmad down in 8th position. But a very, very decent season. Now, as things stand, we've got a £63 million budget, which is pretty good. I'm very happy to that. And it looks like, actually, that was Ruben Amorim as manager of Brighton, which is absolutely hilarious how we've just beaten him with his own tactic. And then the final thing I want to check as well is let you guys know about the youth intake we had come through, because we did have some decent players, most notably Gareth Griffiths, which is a fantastic name, a young Welsh midfielder, great determination, not the greatest of physicals, only 15 years of age, but someone to keep an eye on. He's born in 2010, which makes me feel physically sick that he's on this game. So that is something to keep an eye on. If we do check out the under-18s, there was more high potential players in here as well. Jura Pedro is a right-back or defensive midfielder, who again looks very, very good. Really good mentals for his age. Ethan Easton was another Welshman, a centre-back with great determination. Connor Adams, a centre-back / defensive midfielder. Devion Myers, a good young left-wing back. And one thing I do want to point out is the regen faces. I can't notice anything bad about literally any of the 4 we've got here as a top 4. And I'm not really picking them out. They're just the 4 that I go on to. Conor McGowan, another decent face. So a lot of the leagues at the start when it all came out was how bad they were. I think we were picking the bad faces. And to be fair, most of them are pretty decent. And we did get a lot of good youngsters come through. Now, next season, it's obviously go time, isn't it? We've got a 2-season challenge to win the Champions League. And if we don't do that next year, well, that's 2 seasons up. And I have to give away a second copy of FM26. And that's not the plan. I'd like to only give away 1 if possible. So I'm going to be going for it in the transfer window. If you guys have got any recommendations, get them in the comments down below. It is going to be a big, big one. Next episode is a full summer transfer window special. It has been a massive pleasure this first season with Manchester United, and the second season is going to be just as good as well. So make sure you subscribe to the channel, and I will see you for the bumper summer transfer window episode. Yes, people, we are back today on FM26 to kick off season number 2 with our Manchester United save, because last time out we finished season 1 while beating Bournemouth and of course defeating Liverpool at the end of the campaign, but they did managed to win the Premier League, which means right now Liverpool have more Premier League titles than Manchester United. So for season 2, not only do we need to attempt to win the Premier League, we will of course also be making a bunch of transfers in this video, and of course also trying to win the Champions League, because if I don't, I have to give away a copy of FM26, and one of you guys also won a copy of FM26 last episode, and that name of person that won it is down there. So if that is your name, please make sure to drop me a DM on Twitter so I can send you over a code. Without further ado, let's get into season 2, because this is going to be a big one. Now, to kick things off, what I've done is I've gone forward a couple of weeks, so we are on the 3rd of June, and I have sort of built a picture for myself, exactly the plan for this transfer window, which I'm going to talk you guys through today. Now, initially, we need to talk about the tactic, because I think this tactic is done. This tactic is absolutely nailed, and I am buzzing of our balanced standard Amorim tactic. We, of course, also have our defensive variation of the tactic, and then finally, I need to create a proper attacking variation. So that's going to be my challenge for this season tactically as well, because I feel like we need to be able to switch into something which gives us more attacking impetus rather than relying on just a balanced tactic and a few changes. I feel like we can get somewhere tactically at getting that extra goal. So that's something I'm looking to creating this season. And then when it comes into players I'm looking to buy, well, if you guys don't know how I normally set up my squads, when it comes down to this sort of thing where we're planning for the next season, I like to pick everyone by the positions where they're going to be playing, and then I also do the exact same on the bench, numbered 1 to 11, so goalkeeper is sub 1, striker is sub 11, and everything in between. And the positions that I've identified, which I'll show you on the tactics screen, is initially the left centre back. I think it's a position that we could do with improving. In terms of the players we could potentially put there, there is a few, like Lisandro Martinez, who, to be honest, wasn't great last season. Harry Maguire, I think, is definitely a really good rotational centre-back for us. And then Luke Shaw, who didn't play much at the end of last year and is wanted and asking to leave. He's wanted by Sporting, and Lisandro Martinez is also wanted by AC Milan, Barcelona, and Al Ahly. So there's probably about 50 to 60 million in there if we were to sell them to, which would allow me to buy one absolute superstar. Now, in terms of other players, you have sub 5, which is a backup right back for Ahmad. Of course, Ahmad is the starter and will be staying as the starter, but I've put Mazraoui as a backup centre back, as I think that's kind of his best position in this tactic itself. Going forward, he's just not that good. So I'm looking to bring in someone else to that. I am looking to bring in another midfielder as well, and we'll go through some outgoings in just a minute's time. So someone else alongside Mainu, Stiller, and Fernandez to rotate in there. And then finally, the main position is going to be sub 9, which is a backup right winger for Brian Mbumo. Of course, Mount will be staying after his fantastic performance last season, as will Gonzalo. And the youngsters I'm looking to give more minutes to this year are Jayden Nwashi, Emir Ibrahimov, Shea Alesi, and Chido Obi. That sort of sets up the team and the squad that I want to have for next season, which does leave quite a few players not wanted. Andre Nana, Altay India, both definitely leaving the club. Lisandro Martinez, Luke Shaw, again the same, where I think we're going to look to try and extract the value out of them now. Looking here, 33 to 36 and 44 to 48 million. I mean, it's potentially 70 million on them two alone. Going down into the midfield, we of course do have Casemiro somewhere in here. In fact, I've already got rid of him and moved him down to the under 18s because I'm not going to be renewing his contract. I'm going to let that expire. And the exact same goes for Jadon Sancho as well. I could trigger the release clause on that contract and attempt to sell him, but I genuinely don't think anyone will buy him. He just had a really poor season at Aston Villa again, and I'd rather not take the risk for the potential 2 or 3 million we might get for him. So we're going to say goodbye to Jadon Sancho. And of course, Marcus Rashford and Rasmus Højlund, I would also look to sell. Marcus Rashford, injured currently, will be back in time to sell, which is good. So a bunch of players to sell, a few players to buy. And I mean, I'm not going to go small because we are looking at ending this little mini series at the end of this season. And like I said, I have to win the Champions League. I've got to give away another copy of FM26. So if you guys haven't already, the way we're going to draw that giveaway is on the first episode of this series. If you haven't watched that, but you're watching this, just go back, comment on that video saying you're coming from episode 5 and GGMU. That's what I want to see in the comments for that one. But anyway, I'm going to get into sort of setting up some scouting filters. We'll go through that together as well, because I understand a lot of people are struggling with how to do that on FM26, and I want this to be quite a nice little long-winded episode of us going through transfers and scouting the right players to take this United team to Premier League and Champions League winners. Now, to kick things off, what I'm going to do is set up some transfer room in requirements for the positions that we are looking for, and hopefully this should give us just a few players to kick off our scouting with, so we can really see if anyone's going to crop up from these. I'm not really too fussed on age or anything. I'm more just looking to attempt to see which profiles this is going to give us, because they're the 4 positions we need. And I think this transfer room can possibly give us ideas on where we should spend our money. Past that, of course, we also have the recruitment focuses, which we need to set up as well. Now, I've gone through and deleted all the recruitment focuses that I previously had for last season, as we have got pretty strong ideas on what I'm looking for this season, and I want to basically just concentrate exactly on that. Now, of course, we are looking for a left-sided centre-back. I'm not going to delve deeper into the role we're looking into. We're going to set it as a top priority, and a player who is at least 3.5 star and 3.5 star. And again, I'm not worried on age. I'm just looking for a starter. In terms of the right back, I am looking at pretty similar as well. However, I am looking to get a role in here as an advancing wing back, because I want them to be nice and attacking, just like Ahmad. Again, I'm setting it as a top scouting priority, and I'm dropping the current ability down just to 2-star, because they're going to be a strong rotation. I mean, literally probably 10 and 15 games maximum, as long as Ahmad doesn't get injured, because there's no AFCON this season, which obviously hampered us quite a lot last year. And of course, we're going to have Mazraoui as well when we switch into the defensive system. Next up is actually where we are going to do in possession as a right winger and out of possession as a right attacking cam, because of course that is where Brighton Mbeumo is playing, and he's not actually perfectly suited to that role. But if we can get someone who is pretty young, to be honest, I'm looking for an absolute starter. Again, we have got Mbeumo and Cher Lacey as one of the players we're keeping around the squad this season. We're looking for someone that can come in, do a really good job when he does play, and again, be a good young prospect that can play them 2 positions. And finally, it is a central midfielder to rotate with Angelo Stiller. Again, this needs to be quite a younger player, to be honest. I'm looking for a guaranteed starter. He's only 4th choice midfielder behind Bruno, behind Stiller, behind Mainu. I'm looking for this guy to be the next player to bring in to that position. And we should already have some players that are matched and have come back. So I'm going to go through all of these lists and kind of identify the players which could potentially be of interest, and then leave it a little bit and let the scouts go and find some players too. Now, after 2 weeks worth of scouting, I've got a short list of 53 different players throughout the 4 positions we are looking into, which I now need to whittle down. But exactly how I've done this and got these scouts, number 1 is, of course, through the recruitment focuses. We've had a bunch of players scouted, some still being scouted, and a bunch all done, all for every single position. I've also just set up a bunch of Wonder Kids ones, which I want to sign some Superstar Wonder Kids for you guys that do help support over on Patreon. And with this video that comes out on Patreon, I also put the end of season 1 sort of file, so you guys can go ahead and play this save file as well if you guys want United in the Champions League for season 2. And obviously by the end of this whole 2-season journey, there will be another file that comes out, and I want to leave it with a bunch of Wonder Kids, because I'll be honest, I'm probably going to play the save myself as some enjoyment, not for a video, once we finish this series. So I need to buy some Wonder Kids for myself too. We also, of course, had the transfer room in, and this actually brought back some fantastic options like Nico Schlotterbeck, who has made it onto the shortlist. Ilya Zabani is someone that hasn't, purely because I'm looking for a left-footed centre-back for this position. So there's a bunch of centre-backs here that are on the list, a bunch that aren't. Same going for the right wing-backs. Festia Biosele and Jan Couto both have made it on. Central midfielders, there's Javi Guerrero, there's Archie Gray, there's Felix Demesha. There's some banging options. And this has really impressed me, this transfer room in, because obviously we've done it now for season 1 for a full separate video, and we seem to get the same players every time. Now that I've gone like a year into the future, the names that are propping up are so different, which is very fun and very enjoyable because it's going to give me more different players to sign in rebuilds and of course in saves like this. Now I do want to get to a point where every single player is fully scouted, so I'm going to go forward a little bit more. There is something else that has happened, and that's outgoings. We've had offers for Bayindir, for Ugarte and for Lisandro Martinez, and I've accepted all of these deals, which would give us about an extra £50 million to add to the 63 we already have. And something else of course that we do have is the clauses. If you guys haven't looked at the clauses which you could potentially sell for your team, whoever you're managing, they're pretty ridiculous this year. Obviously, they are massive for finances going forward, so it's not good to sell them all. While it might feel like it, you will mess your club up quite dangerously financially going forward. But for example, I can take 21.5 million from this Alejandro Garnacho deal right now. They are meant to pay us 30 because 4 installments of 7.5. But if I want 21.5, I'll take it right now. Same for Anthony. We could take 10 million out of this right now. Dan James, there's clauses for. There's a bunch of different players. And potentially I'm going to do some of this and get a little bit of extra money if I need to. So that's something that you guys, if you haven't done on your saves, check your clauses. Now the first sale is complete, and that is Altar Bayindir leaving to join Sporting. And we also officially say goodbye to Lisandro Martinez. Licha is genuinely one of my favourite players at United in real life. It was such a shame to see another big injury for him. He is nearly back now after, 10 months, which is crazy. I do hope he comes back and really performs, but just in this save, he's not managed to get going too much, and we'll take the 20 million to invest in a new, younger left-sided centre-back. We've also just had an offer for Joshua Zirkzee as well, a £27 million mandatory fee at the end of this, but we pay most of his wages this year. And I don't actually hate it. Of course, these normal type of deals I'm not normally a fan of, but to get Zirkzee out and to give us room to obviously have Gonzalo as the backup striker and Chido, I think we'll do it, and I'll accept the offer purely because I don't want to keep him around and stop other players getting minutes. And we also say goodbye to Manuel Ugarte for £29.5 million to Spurs. Simply just doesn't have the stats, and someone else pointed out as well, his vision is absolutely hilarious. 8 vision. It's like having Stevie Wonder in the midfield. So Manuel Ugarte, yeah, we'll take him and go to Spurs, £30 million. A pretty bad transfer after everything considered. And of most of them sales now all done, we have got £118 million. And the first position I'm going to look into purchasing is going to be the central midfielder. Now, this is a third or fourth choice midfielder. So straight away, I need to eliminate these top 4 players. Elliot Anderson, Adam Wharton, Victor Froholt and Carlos Baleba. Victor Froholt looks fantastic at Porto. If you guys are looking for an unbelievable, well-rounded midfielder, this guy could be insane. At 20 years of age, to have them mentals is brilliant, but I just don't have 73 million to spend on him. And pretty much the same goes for all 4 of these. So I'm going to remove them from the shortlist to kick this off. I then added in 4 different requirements that I am looking for players to meet, which is minimum of 13 work rate, decision-making, passing and tackling. So I get a good, well-rounded midfielder that's able to run across the pitch like a madman, a bit like Angelo Stiller or like Ugarte, but that can pass the ball. And then someone which, as I said, can pass the ball. And that has given us these 6 options. James Garner, who I'm a huge fan of. I mean, I am actually the proud holder of the only one of one James Garner rookie autograph card from his Manchester United days. So that's how much I like James Garner. He's certainly an option for me to get. So we've got Antonio Blanco at Alaves. I've got Conor Gallagher at Atletico Madrid, who for that price looks really good. Yassin Liari at Brighton. Obviously another Brighton midfielder. Not going for Baleba, but going for Liari could be a clever shout. Hashim Bouadi coming in from Nice. Looks like a really good defensive midfielder. Maybe too much for a playmaker, but I'm going to deep dive more into stats in a second. And then Leslie Uguchu at Burnley as well was actually someone that I was quite interested in United trying to sign before he went there on a permanent from Chelsea, because I think he's a really good player in real life. He brings a bit of height into the team at 6'2". His stats are really well-rounded. Looking a bit deeper, we've got really good tackling, decent marking, obviously good heading with his height, good decision-making. Mental stats are a little bit lacking, which probably will stop me from signing him here. But for this kind of price, if someone's doing like a mid-table to lower mid-table Premier League save, Leslie could be a really good signing. I'm going to remove him from the shortlist as he doesn't quite cut it. If we move on to Hisham Bouadi, as I've sort of said, this guy could be a bit more of a technical player. I mean, with his height straight away, I am put off. But 18 natural fitness, 16 stamina, 16 work rate, 16 teamwork. Maybe not. He's got really good off-the-ball work, really good positioning vision. Stats here look really good. Good flair, which I don't really need him to have, but he is good on it. Good finishing, good first touch, good dribbling out of position, which is good. In terms of traits, he tries long ball passes and brings ball out of defence. He is certainly an option. Yassin Liari, I think, is a really good player and would be very interesting for me, but I do think he's slightly too attacking, doesn't quite have the sort of marking and defensive stats of a true DM, and is maybe a year or two away, which maybe is where Bewadi beats him. So Yassin Liari also going to get taken off the list. Conor Gallagher, I think, is maybe a bit of a Man Malagate signing part 2. I mean, he does have much better vision with 13. His work rate and teamwork is really good, but his actual defending isn't fantastic. 10 marking, 8 heading. He is, just under 6 foot tall. He is actually quite good. I'll keep him on here for now, but I am certainly leaning towards Bewadi compared to him. But as a second option, could be good. Antonio Blanco at Alaves is interesting. Really good teamwork and work rate. Not quite got the natural fitness. A little bit on the smaller side. And doesn't quite have the technicals. Again, an interesting player, but probably not going to be the guy we go for. And then James Garner. Now this guy, I mean, I don't know why United ever sold him, other than I've said about marking and heading being really important. He's got 10 and 8 respectively, which isn't great, but he does have the determination, does have the teamwork, does have the work rate, has the stamina, has the physical stats. His traits are tries long range passes, plays 1-2s, and shoots from distance. I think if I'm being smart, he probably doesn't quite beat out Bewadi. I actually think Hisham Bewadi is a really good option. Again, the 8 heading, 10 long shots, but better marking, better tackling. In terms of his pros on his scout report is a international, natural fit, resolute characteristics, bravery, natural look up positions, adaptable when it comes to other countries, enjoys big matches, a fairly consistent performer, which is good. And in terms of his cons, there is literally poor heading ability and then would need to learn the language, which is fine. Getting an analysis report on him as well, so we'll wait to see what that says. As for Jimmy Garner, if we check out his pros, would be a terrific signing apparently. We have got the analysis report back already as well. Again, resolute characteristics, consistent performer, works well with a team, natural in a couple of positions. Of course, it's English, which, to be fair, could play a big part because of our registration rules for the Champions League. Counts towards everything, enjoys big matches and a committed player. Poor heading ability and maybe find it difficult to gel into the squad. I disagree. I think he'd be absolutely fine. English player joining Mason Mount, Kobe Mainoo in that midfield. And then in terms of our analysis report, cons, he lost possession a little bit too much in the Premier League, but distance covered, interceptions made, pressures attempted, pressures completed, assists, key passes, possession 1, tackles attempted, interception per 90 minutes, clearances, expected assists, progressive passes, are all really good. But the main ones at the top here, distance covered, interceptions made, and being able to press the ball. He's done really well in them 4 in particular, in the top 20 in the Premier League. And as you come down, he's also got the key passes as well. And it might be some slight bias, but I'm currently leaning towards James Garner. I do want to see the report back from Bewadi. I am going to take off Conor Gallagher. I don't remember him from my brain. I want to see the analysis report on this guy because I am interested potentially in what he could bring to the team and a slightly cheaper option as well. And money might come into it. They're both the very similar age. Bewadi 26, Garner 25. It's just going to come down to finances to which one I go for. And also if either of them get picked up, because Bewadi is wanted by AC Milan and James Garner is wanted by Al Ittihad. So potentially we could get beaten to one of them, but I am happy to bring in either of these guys. As for the right wing position, I have set out we want dribbling, finishing, decision-making, pace, vision, and technique to try and emulate that Brian Mbeumo position. And we have got 7 different options in here. Now, price-wise, it's all quite pricey, but to be expected for an attacking player. Franz Liliano was actually an old scout position, so we need to get rid of him because he is not fitting the bill for us. Kang-In Lee at PSG. I mean, that could be a very interesting option straight away. Playing off this right-hand side as a left footer, 12 finishing is a little bit low, but good first touch, good dribbling, good passing, great technique, good flair and determination. Poor positioning, which is a little bit worrying for me, and quite weak, so in the Premier League he might not be able to do it. I'm going to keep him on the shortlist because he looks really good, but potentially just a little bit weak for it. In terms of Patati here at AZ Alkmaar, again, 9 strength isn't fantastic and poor positioning on him as well. definitely prefer Kang Lee to him straight away. So not going to be Patati, but a decent option for someone out there. Yakuba Minte has got 13 strength, which is good. Again, only 8 positioning mentally, but the rest of his mentals, again, don't really give me too much, and his stats don't scream out to me. So Yakuba Minte also potentially not that guy. Carlos Alvarez at Levante, 7 strength, 8 positioning again, 6 leadership, good technique, good first touch. I prefer Kang Lee to him as well. And then finally, it's Matthias Sule, who I know I am going to like because this guy in real life is an absolute baller. Strength and positioning isn't outrageous, but 17 dribbling, 15 finishing, 16 passing, 17 technique, 16 determination, 17 flair, 17 agility. Traits-wise, he tries killer balls. He shoots from distance, uses the outside of his foot, which as a left footer is interesting. Plays 1-2s, knock ball past the opponent, tries first-time shots, and cuts inside from the right wing. So he suits exactly what we're looking for in terms of that. He does have decent enough work rate and teamwork to be able to do it off the ball as well. Decision-making's at 13 is interesting. It again might come down to money because Kang Lee could be just as good of an option for us. He likes to try killer balls, places shots, beats his opponent repeatedly, and runs with ball often. So him and Ahmad down that right wing could be really, really good. Defensively, really bad, but that's fine, to be honest. It is his strength and positioning which worry me a little bit, but could be a really good option between about 33 and 47 million compared to Sule at the 50 to 70 million. But again, I'm happy to whittle it down to these 2 players. Do we have any analysis report on either of them? As of yet, we do for Sule. Top 11 in key passes, top 12 in shots, great key passes per 90 minutes, open play key passes as well. I mean, he's a creative genius and he scores goals. It's obvious Sule is a really, really good player. And for Kang Lee, analysis report is not quite as good, to be honest. I don't know how many games he played last season. If we could check out his career, 25 games by the looks of it. Got 2 assists in the 7.17, which is really good. In the league, only 6 starts, 19 off the bench. I mean, he is up against like Ousmane Dembele, to be fair to him, but isn't really excelling in the analysis report. So it's definitely Sule if we have the finances. But the most important position out of all of these has to be the centre-back. I mean, this left-sided centre-back is absolutely everything what we need to improve this summer. I mean, it's the most important position by far. We have got our 10 players to scout through, and price-wise, it's going to be expensive. And with the looks of it, I have some very expensive taste. In terms of our search, we have gone with minimum of 13 on concentration, tackling, marking, heading, acceleration and pace, decision-making, passing, and positioning. And it's brought up 4 players: Murillo from Forest, Beraldo from PSG, William Pacho from PSG, and Nico Schlotterbeck, all in around the 50 to 60 million pound mark. Age profile-wise, Beraldo and Murillo are very interesting. Where did Forest finish last season in the Prem? They finished in 7th place on 55 points, so I'm guessing he had quite a good season for them. We should probably have his analysis report straight away available to us. Blocks, shot blocked, and clearances in the top 30. Good in key headers as well. Isn't great in sort of like tackles won, etc., which is interesting. His scout report, fully understanding the language, brave player, balanced personality, consistent, likes big matches. And of course, in terms of his actual stats as well, Murillo is an absolute beast. I mean, tries long-range passes, which is great. Likes to switch the ball to wide areas, which for Mbumo and Ahmad on the right-hand side is great. And brings the ball out of defence. And I think him and Yoro either side, with De Ligt in the middle, could be incredible. So Murillo is a really, really good option. Beraldo, I think, straight off the bat in terms of stats, impresses me less. Last season for PSG, played 16 games. I imagine didn't start too much, only 6. I'm going to instantly say no to Beraldo. And then there is the potential of William Pacho. 27 games for PSG last year, starting all 27, a 7.19 average rating, which is insane. And he is incredible. He is a ball-playing centre-back, 16 tackling, marking, 14 heading, 14 passing. Mentally insane, great aggression and bravery on him, and great speed. 188 centimetres tall. Refrains from taking long shots. So doesn't have like a cross-field pass in his locker based on his sort of attributes there, which is interesting. His analysis report is really good at possession 1, really good at passes completed. I mean, he's outrageous in the ball by the looks of it. Headers won as well, key tackles. Of course, we have to take into account he is playing at PSG. They are going to dominate the game. But there is no doubt that William Pacho is a top-tier centre-back. And for that sort of price as well, that could be very, very tempting. And then Nico Schlotterbeck around the same price. Slightly more experienced, obviously left-footed. In terms of an analysis report, possession 1 and top 2. Cross completion is interesting. Pass completed by 90, average rating. Key headers, looks very good. Scout report is a perfectionist. Of course, a release clause, so it's an easy deal to do. Consistent performer and loves big matches. In terms of his traits, he winds up opponents, gets crowd going, tries long-range passes, likes to switch the ball, and brings the ball out of defence. And I kind of see the best of both worlds here being Murillo, because he does all the passing stuff, but actually looking at his stats, he is slightly worse, and the price is going to be so similar. I mean, William Pacho is the best player, but doesn't have the traits. But he is the best player, and I am most interested in him, so I'm going to ask the agent. And he is interested in the move as well. He would want about 155 to 210,000 pounds a week. And the deal could be quite easy to do. We can knock that down as well. I mean, I'm going to attempt to bring in William Pacho to Manchester United. For this sort of price, if we can get this somewhere around the 54 million pound mark, 66, let's go 57 plus, once he's hit 50 games, I'll give you an extra 5 mil. They've accepted that as 62 million is 6 million pounds more than Schlotterbeck, but 2 years younger. And I think this is a fantastic option. Now, I'm expecting the contract to be quite easy to negotiate. Of course, he is interested in joining, which is really good. Contract running at £185,000 a week is not going to run. And we're going to try and drop this down as much as possible. Although he's pretty stuck on 185. We've got him to 165, which is decent. Overall wage impact is 200,000. Currently on 88. So we've doubled his wages. But he's come to Manchester United. And he is going to be an outrageous left-sided centre-back. Things stand, that leaves us about £50 million to play with to then get them next three positions, which is why I didn't want to start putting bids in for Soulé or for Jimmy Garner, because potentially we're going to have to settle on Kang In Lee and Bewadi, and we haven't checked out the right-back position as of yet either. Now, there is not, of course, as much need in this position. It is a much cheaper position as well. So this is going to be my last position that I look to fill, and I will do that at the end of the window. I think what I might potentially do is look through these clauses and see if there's anything which isn't entirely game-breaking that I could potentially bring in. I'll do that now. For example, £3 million for Hannibal's sell-on clause. I'm also going to take the £3.9 million on the James Garner sell-on clause because, I mean, that just helps us potentially get to him, doesn't it? Of course, we are about to get 30 million for Marcus Rashford as well. There's nothing we can sell in his contract. Noam Emeram, nothing in there. Nothing of value there. Willie Campuala, I thought it'd be a bit more than that. And Zach Bauman, nothing there either. So a little bit of extra funds come in. And, I mean, they might have even helped us pay for James Garner. Everton might have just paid us to take James Garner. That's insane. We've just had the Premier League fixtures announced as well, and we will be playing the first month in the Premier League in this episode. So if you guys are excited for that, stay tuned, because once the transfers are all done, we'll be able to see them all in action as well. And we'll be playing the one game live, will be Aston Villa versus Manchester United at Villa Park. So that should be a very interesting fixture. And we finished off the season at Nottingham Forest, where hopefully we lift the title. If not, in this Northwest Derby against Liverpool on the 17th of April, that could be quite fun to lift it too. And hopefully by that point, William Pacho is a Manchester United cult hero because he is signed on the dotted line on a £62 million transfer. He is now here to dominate Old Trafford. The Ecuadorian is going to join De Ligt and Lenny Yoro as our new look back three. And I think it's safe to say now that this team looks really good and potentially ready to go on a potential title charge. So we'll see if that happens this year. I think the big thing we do need is to improve the backups, and that is our next port of call. We've got £66 million left as things stand, of course, with the money coming in from Marcus Rashford and also needing to sell Rasmus Højlund as well as Joshua Zirkzee. So going into the shortlist, I am looking at now the right wing position as potentially the second most important position for us. I think the central midfield position is important, but not as important as this one. And I am really interested in trying to get Matthias Soulé. He is the one player in this shortlist that makes me really excited. So I wanted to try and bring him in. And I'm going to just say we're very, very interested. He will want stupid money, I've got to say that. There will be no way we'll be getting anywhere near that. So it might not be him in the end, but I have to try because he would be insane to get. They're going to just want to take more time, and we'll see if we can get him over the line. They have just negotiated back to us £113 million. I don't know if this deal's going to happen anymore, to be honest, lads, because that is absolutely wild. I say that. They've just accepted 71. Okay, 71 I can do. I can do potentially £71 million. Checking out the recruitment, we still only have 66 million, but all contracts are just ending as we speak. So Casemiro's like £1 million a week is gone. Sancho will be in this list somewhere as well. We could be about to be okay and just about manage to bring in Soulé without the sales of Rashford, Xerxes and Højlund. What is interesting is going to be this finances screen here, because I am not giving him anywhere near this stupid money that he wants. And I am willing to walk away from this deal if he is not willing to sort that out, because I am not paying him more than 210 grand a week. 275. You're a third choice winger, to be honest, mate. I mean, I'm going to just stick to 230. Yeah, we're not going to get Matthias Soulé. He wants simply too much money. He would be absolutely insane, but he just wants a little bit too much. And I've got to say, I don't know if I'm entirely sold Kang In Lee deal, so I might move on to someone else, and that could be Franco Mastantuono. Now, we have mentioned this guy a few times. He does lack in stats, and he's just 18 years of age. He would just be so fun to use. I wonder what sort of the loan deal would be to bring him in, because this would enable us to then go and bring in Jimmy Garner. It's not cheap, I'll be honest. I mean, I don't know what this would actually bring out of our sale, of our actual deal. I imagine it'll be quite a lot. I mean, he's just so good though, isn't he? Of course, if we win the FA Cup or the Champions League, we have to give him loads of money. I'm going to make the offer. And if that comes back and it's not more than, say, 20 million, I'm going to do that deal because it will do us for this season. And I just really want to play with him. And this is very interesting as well. We've just had a big offer for Bruno Fernandes. The good news, he has no interest in joining Real Madrid. And unless I was to get upwards of 100 million, I haven't really got any interest in him going anywhere either. So I'm going to try to reject that and move on from that one. The Franco deal has been accepted. It says here £53 million. If that is what it is, I won't get him, don't worry. What I do find interesting is Rashford is back. I thought he had a £30 million mandatory release clause. Apparently not. So we need to discuss how to get rid of Marcus Rashford. And apparently he has no interest in leaving. Marcus, mate, you will be leaving this club. Intermediary, nothing. Marcus, look. You don't like it here. Marcus, you're lying to me. I know you don't like it here. I mean, I would love you to have stayed here in real life, but, like, you're not going to stay in real life, are you? We're going to have to sell Marcus Rashford at some point. He will be leaving the club. And the same goes for Rasmus Højlund, who has got a £90 million sort of valuation of him, which is criminal. He also doesn't really want to leave the club. Intermediaries-wise, they're not really a lot for him. I'm also going to offer him via transfer room and try and get him to leave. That could be a bit of a pain if we can't remove them, to be honest. We'll have to see. To clarify, neither of them will be staying at the club. They will both be going. And we have now got the decision to make on Franco Mastantuono. It is a £28 million getting deducted from the budget. And I just don't know. I think what it does do is it gives us a player which can play in the position we want him to play at a fairly cheap price, and he's very exciting to play with on the beta. Shoots from distance, plays 1-2s, likes long-range free kicks, switch the ball, cuts inside from the right wing. Has flair, is decently tall, good physicals, dribbling's insane. I just don't know if he gives us output. I'm going to delay it, and I just want to see if I can find someone maybe a little bit older that can give us a better output, as this is a really big year for trying to win the Champions League. So I've just been looking through a list of cams and right wings, and to be honest, none of them get me quite as excited as playing with Franco. Other than potentially Nico Paz, who could be incredible and on this FM looks insane. 17 technique, 17 passing, 18 first touch, 17 dribbling. 16 determination, 16 flair, great vision, decent physicals, 6'1", which adds a bit of height to the team up there as well with Sesko, and then brings his pace and his ability. And I have just had a deal agreed for £72 million, of only 30 million up front. So it's the same upfront cost as Franco. And the contract is all done at £210,000 a week. I think it's potentially worth it to see if this deal can go over the line, because this could be an unreal signing. And just so you know, I did try the exact same deal with Matthias Sule, and they told me it is not happening. Now that is a very nice bonus to just stumble upon out of nowhere. Anthony has just left to join Al Ali, and we've just received £16.5 million from that, which is fantastic and helps make up a few decisions in my mind. Because with them extra funds, I am delighted to announce that James Garner has joined back Manchester United for 30 million and rising an extra 20, so a total of 50 million pounds. But that extra Anthony money has massively helped facilitate that. Adding this kind of midfielder into the squad right now is absolutely perfect because we have unlimited rotation in the midfield, and I genuinely love this guy in real life. As well as confirming the signing of Nico Paz to Manchester United. The 21-year-old Argentinian is here. And my God, does he look absolutely insane. I mean, we're going to have to rotate him, Cunha and Mbeumo all the time. And of course, Mason Mount as well was our second top goal scorer last season. But as I said, we're going for the Premier League and the Champions League this season, and a signing like Nico Paz helps that drastically. And for the right back position, I brought in Mattia Zanotti coming in from Lugano. I don't know all of his stats just yet, but he is 23 years of age. He is more than happy to be a backup option to Ahmad, which is exactly what I need. And based on the stats that I could see, I was very excited by him, and now I actually get to see him entirely. 2.5 star, 3 star, £9 million, good crossing, good physicals, unbelievable mentals, gets forward whenever possible. The perfect backup right back has just been signed. So we now officially have our full squad for this season. And just to remind you guys, the starting lineup is Seni Lamans, Yoro, Delict, Pacho, Dorgu, Ahmad, Stiller, Bruno, Cunha, Mbeumo, and Sesko. With the backup 11 being Gonzalo leading the line, with Mason Mount and Nico Paz in behind, Mainu and Garner in midfield, with Araujo, Zanotti, Mazraoui, Maguire, Aiden Heaven, and Radek Vitek as the backup goalkeeper. And that squad, I think, is absolutely fantastic. Now, I do still have some players to sell. Andre Onana is potentially going to Newcastle for 37 million. Luke Shaw, I'm still trying to get rid of. In terms of other players, there is still Marcus Rashford and Rasmus Højlund, who are both being a massive pain. I have just loaned out Xerxes to Bournemouth with an optional £41 million fee. And in terms of finances, right now we have £17.5 million, but no wage budget. So for now, that is going to be me done in transfers. I'm going to go on to the game against Aston Villa, where hopefully I've managed to sell some more players and I've managed to scout some wonder kids who I'll be bringing in at the end of this transfer window. But I want to play with this team now and see how good we can do. So it is the opening day of the Premier League season, and the Aston Villa team looks absolutely no different. But the Manchester United one, there is a new star in William Pacho starting at left centre-back. Looking onto the bench, of course, we have James Garner and Argentinian wonder kid Nico Paz. The first game of the season's happened already, and Fulham beat Wolves 4-0. It would be lovely to try and do something like that today as Manchester United take on Aston Villa at Villa Park in a huge opening day clash. And it is Manchester United starting off with possession in the 6th minute. Bruno Fernandes and Patrick Dorgu playing some lovely football before Mateus Cunha gets hold of the ball, drives on the left-hand side and faces a shot straight at Emi Martinez. We need to see more from Cunha and Mbeumo this season, because we have Paz waiting in the wings. Now, it's been a pretty boring first half so far. It's 40 minutes in and we've only seen that Cunha chance, but we might have another one here. Hopefully not, because it looks like it's Aston Villa. It's John McGinn playing through Ollie Watkins, beating Lenny Yoro to find Morgan Rogers down the left-hand side. He's got space to run into, finds Harvey Elliott in the box, and we are 1-0 down. A Bruno Fernandes mistake in the middle of the park gives Aston Villa a counter-attack, and they capitalise. It is going to be a difficult game, though. We have dominated what has been played. We are on attacking as nothing was happening on positive. But what might be happening is Aston Villa starting to put the pressure on. Harvey Elliott whips it in, headed clear by Pacho. But it does come back out to Harvey Elliott, whips it in. It's cleared by Sesko, and that is the halftime whistle. 1-0 to Aston Villa. That is not what we wanted to see. We simply have to be better in the second half. And in the 57th minute, I am making the decision, as we have not seen anything else this second half, to get Nico Paz onto the pitch for Brian and Bumo. I was going to do Benjamin Sesko, but we know he has the ability to prop up with a goal. I'm also going to take Stiller off for Jimmy Garner, because I want to see him in this first game as well. And Dorgu is going to stay on because he's playing well. And that is all we're doing subs so far. But Nico Paz and James Garner back on the Manchester United pitch once again. Can Nico Paz kick off his Manchester United debut with a banger goal? We are hopefully going to have the chance to see, as I would love to see us win this ball back. Win the header and get possession. Well done. Cunha, Paz. Look at that. Unbelievable play. Finds Bruno Fernandes. And then he drifts out to the right-hand side. Bruno beats a man. A lovely pass over the top. Cunha. Oh my God. Bruno Fernandes. That is disgusting. That ball right there is criminal. And the finish from Matheus Cunha is insane. I want to watch that again because I have never seen that in FM ever in my life. Bruno Fernandes on the ball, facing up his man, a dinked pass over the top. Cunha chests it down. A lovely finish. And it is 1-1. We now have the momentum to go and get this victory. Now, Sesko has still not turned up in this game, so I'm going to bring on Gonzalo into the game and see what he can do. And I'm also going to take off Dorgu purely because I don't want him to get a yellow card, but I have no one to bring on the bench. Poor selection from me. Defensively playing very poor. We will just stick to Gonzalo for now. He didn't really get running last season, hasn't scored his first goal for the club yet, but I'm still keeping faith that this season he could be a really good backup striker for us. It is Aston Villa on the ball, but well won back by Matheus Cunha. He finds Patrick Dorgu down the left-hand side, driving down the line. Can he beat a man and grab a cross in? He can indeed. It is Gonzalo who hits the post and it goes wide. 3 minutes into this season. That would have been a great start for him. And with just 5 minutes to go, I am cautious of going too attacking as we are away from home. And a draw at Villa Park would still be good enough to see us potentially win the league. And I think we are going to take a 1-1 draw in this game. And I am not complaining, to be honest. We saw an unbelievable goal from Cunha. We dominated the game in terms of shots, 50-50 in terms of possession. And the new players, well, they gelled in and had their debuts, which is important to get back underway. A great goal from Cunha and buzzing to see him get back on the score sheet. And that is it in terms of the live games for this episode. But I am finishing the transfer window as well. So let me show you what's happened because there's been a lot of outgoings. We now have £102 million in the transfer budget, which is insane. In terms of transfer activity happening, there isn't much left to do. If we check out the transfer history, however, there has been a lot that has been done. We have spent 189 million, but raised over 103. Rasmus Højlund and Onana both go to Newcastle. Lisandro Martinez to Barcelona. Bayindir to Sporting. And then we have the loans of Rashford and Xerxes, one to Brentford, one to Roma, and a few other players leaving on loan, all for very minimal fees. Which means that pretty much all of the deadwood is done. I think Luke Shaw is potentially the last player to sell. And I've got over £100 million to now try and buy some sort of wonder kids for the future. Which, as I said, what I'll do is I'll do that. And I'll show you guys the people we do sign. For the rest of this month, I've got Sheffield United, Arsenal and Newcastle. So some very, very tough games coming up. Obviously not Sheffield United, but with Arsenal and Newcastle coming, it will be good to see if we can get to 8 points from this start. A victory against Sheffield United sees us on 4, and then a victory over one of them teams and a draw against one would see us get to 8. And we've already played Arsenal away from home. So let's see what we can do and see if we can have an unbeaten start to this season. Well, to kick things off, we were up against Sheffield United, of course, and I attempted to make our attacking tactic before going 1-0 down because Kobbie Mainoo decided to volley the ball into the back of his own net. But don't worry, because we are going to go on to get a convincing 3 points in this game after Kobbie decided not to do that anymore. Nico Paz and Sesko linked up to get an early goal back to make it 1-1 for an Ahmad corner. Found William Pacho to get him off to the score sheet to make it 2-1 before a 3-1 came in from a Bruno Fernandes free kick. And clearly the tactic was working because we had 30 shots and 60% possession. However, up against Arsenal, we weren't quite so lucky. And to be honest, we got absolutely dominated. Despite going 1-0 up, we just could not stop Arsenal. After going 1-0 up, I dropped into the defensive system and, well, yeah, it didn't really work. And then when they went back to 1-0, I went back to the normal system and they just tore us apart. Victor Gyökeres's brace made it a 3-1 victory for them. Before we faced up against Newcastle, and within just 15 minutes we were faced with more disappointment as Joe Linton hit a deflected effort into the back of the net to give them the early lead before we levelled it up in the 25th minute. But that was it in terms of this game. We are not going to come away with 8 points. In fact, only 1 win, 1 draw and 2 losses. And you couple that with the points dropped against Villa, we are down in 9th place on 5 points after 4 games and 5 points off the lead already, which is not very good. I would love to win the Premier League this season, so we will see what we can do with that one. And then we need to talk about a couple of wonder kids I have signed. I've not signed too many, only 2, and they've both gone straight back out on loan to the clubs we brought them from. So nothing too exciting to go on to, but they both do look absolutely fantastic. Number 1 is Renato Inahaga, a Guinea-Bissau central midfielder from Casapia, who is 19 years of age, who has cost me £18 million, but he seems to have all the right stats in all the right areas and looks like a very exciting prospect. And then Peyton Miller coming in from New England Revolution for £5.5 million, which for an 18-year-old left back seems fantastic considering he has 18 pace and 16 acceleration. If he can stay out on loan for the second half of the season, play more games because he's already played 21 for them, develop a little bit more in them technicals, this guy could be one of the go-to wonder kid left backs on the game this year. And they are now both with us, which is very, very exciting. But I have got a lot to do because I only need to play a serious amount of games because I don't really want to come back until maybe January against Arsenal at home, potentially. Potentially we'll come back in January and do a couple more transfer deals. But this second season is going to be just 2 seasons long. We're going to have 1 for the first half of the season, 1 for the second half of the season. So hopefully we finish this save before the beta ends. If you guys have enjoyed this video, and most importantly, the whole Manchester United beta save, please make sure you're smashing the subscribe button and liking the video. It helps me out massively. And I mean, the support has been mental since FM26 has dropped. So just carry that on and do me a big favour and make sure you subscribe to the channel. And I'll speak to you guys next time. We are back on Football Manager 26 and our Manchester United save, where last time out we had a mental summer transfer window, and today is our penultimate episode as I have played the first half of the season and things have been up and down. And today we've got a huge clash against Manchester City and then a mental January transfer window which will decide our fate for the finale, where if we do not win the Champions League, I have to give away a copy of FM26. So without further ado, let me get you guys caught up. Now we finished last time out with a 3-1 loss against Arsenal, the 3-1 win against Sheffield United, the 1-1 draw against Aston Villa and the 1-1 draw against Newcastle. But to follow that was a convincing 5-2 victory over Watford in the Carabao Cup, and then another draw in the Premier League, making it 3 out of 5, though 1-1 against Crystal Palace. We then had our first game in the Champions League, and how lucky are we for it to be away from home against PSG. They quite literally won the Champions League last time out in real life, and this was our first game back in the competition. I mean, this could quite literally be the team we would be facing in the final, but no, we're facing them now, and they're quite good. Vitinha got them off to a great start of an early 1-goal lead before Bruno Fernandes tied things up straight down the middle from the penalty spot. But PSG, to be honest, were just way too good. They are a simply tremendous side on this Football Manager. If you haven't played up against them yet, good luck. They are an absolute joke. And Ousmane Dembele in particular is just absolutely insane. Despite being hacked down by Cunha, PSG kept a lovely bit of possession. João Neves eventually finding a long switch out to the left-hand side. Kavica Kvaratskhelia up against Ahmad. That seems unfair. Eventually poked home by João Neves. And the game finished 3-1 in the end thanks to a late goal from Bradley Barcola. Luckily, next time out in the Champions League, we faced Napoli and beat them 3-0 before them facing FC Nordsjælland and putting them to the sword of a 2-1 victory with a 92nd minute goal from Benjamin Sesko. We then faced Gladbach away from home and drew that one 1-1 despite getting 2 red cards to Bruno Fernandes and Maximiliano Araujo, but it was against Ajax where we got back on winning winning terms, a 3-0 victory, goals from Šeško, Cunha and Paz, before I just played against Atletico Madrid and won that game 2-0 with Bruno Fernandes and Šeško scoring the goals. Which means so far in the Champions League, we are in the top 8 and have got our bye into the round of 16 with just 2 games to go. We'll be facing up against AC Milan away from home and Club Bruges at home. So I'd like to think there's a decent chance we will not be in the knockout playoff round, but straight into the round of 16. And like I said, if I don't manage to win these 2 games, I don't manage to win the Champions League, well, there'll be a copy of FM26 going to one of the comments in the first episode. And there was a bunch of you from episode 5, which went back, commented saying GGMU, do the exact same and say you're for you're from episode 6, because I want to see how many people are catching up with the series and now need to go and comment on episode 1. But we need to get back to the Premier League as well, because last time out in the Premier League, it was Liverpool that ended up winning the title, which meant they were 21 times champions. And that hurts my soul a bit. So I would like to attempt to win the Premier League this season. And when Ahmad is doing ridiculous things like that, I do believe we have a chance. That was the only goal in a 1-0 victory over Everton. And us playing against these sort of smaller teams and winning has been something we've been very good at. And that's partly down to our attacking variation of our Ruben Amorim tactic, where we now have a video on the channel, which I remember to link at the end of this video, where I break down all 3 tactical variations, this attacking one, the defensive one, and our standard variation. And having an attacking tactic to switch into has made a big difference this season. It's the way we managed to stick 3 past Wolves away from home, managed to beat Brentford at home 2-0 as well, or even our game in our standard tactics against Chelsea, where a Nico Paz brace also got us a 2-0 victory. But then sometimes we had games like this away from Ipswich, or we just simply could not put the ball in the back of the net, which kind of means I do need to go into the January market and sign a brand new striker, because despite absolutely loving Gonzalo, especially in the match engine, when I watch this guy play as a deep line forward, it is an absolute joy. But he scored 1 goal for us this season, didn't score any last season. And in January, I will be bringing in a superstar backup striker to Big Benjamin Šeško, and he will only be a backup. Because while this season has not reached the potential 30-goal heights that Šeško did last year, he still has 8 goals and 3 assists. Nico Paz has been a brilliant signing with 11 goal contributions in 11 starts, and Bruno Fernandes this year has 13. Matheus Cunha already so close to beating his last season tally with 9 goal contributions, whereas Brighton Mbeumo has found himself more as a backup to Nico Paz, purely based on output in the matches. And Mbeumo's 7 goal contributions, Paz with 11, and them two having the ability to pick between them has been very, very enjoyable. In terms of our best average rating so far this season, it is Lenny Yorova 7.18, closely followed by Big Ben Šeško, and then Ahmad as that attacking right wing back. But after all of them results, all of them different games, where does that sit us in the table? Well, that actually only sits us in 6th place and currently 12 points of current leaders Arsenal. However, we have got a game in hand today, which is the match against Manchester City, which isn't the easiest of games in hand, but hopefully is something we can do well in. If we were to check out the current stats for the season, we are doing better on possession this season with 55%. In terms of goal scoring, we currently sit in 6th with 26. And in terms of defending, I suspect we're doing quite well. We are in 3rd place with just 16 goals conceded. But Arsenal, under Mikel Arteta, are having a brilliant, brilliant season. They are scoring a bunch of goals through Gyökeres, Havertz, and new signing Ademola Lookman, and are going to be the team to chase for this title. Potentially also Liverpool. I mean, actually, no, you know what? Liverpool are not retaining it. Classic Arne Slot, if you ask me. Rubbish. But anyway, this season is about us winning the Champions League, but also getting back the Premier League title for Manchester United. So let's go into it. Let's have this game against Manchester City and see what we can do. And just quickly, if you were surprised about how we're sitting down in 6th place, there's just been too many draws this season. I mean, the draw against Villa to kick things off, the draw against Newcastle, the draw against Palace. We lost to Brighton away from home. They were just absolutely fantastic. And we lost to Villa at home as well in the Carabao Cup, meaning we are out of that one. We drew to Bournemouth away from home, and we lost to Spurs away from home. A Xavi Simons hat-trick. This guy seems to be broken on this game. 14 goals and 3 assists in 16 matches. I just couldn't get near him. He scored worldy free kicks. He was scoring solo effort runs, and he's just a bit of a joke. And I really want to play with him at some point because he looks that good. But anyway, it is time to get into this game against Manchester City, where if we lose, we could be out of the title race. We win, we are only 9 points away. So welcome to the Manchester Derby. Welcome to Old Trafford, where the strike line sees a change of Benjamin Sesko on the bench before looking at the City team and seeing Alvaro Fernandez at left back. Since leaving Manchester United, he has gone to have a fantastic career at Real Madrid and now moved to Manchester City and will be an issue in this game down the left-hand side. They also see Nico Riley in the midfield and, of course, spearheaded by Erling Haaland up front. But this is Old Trafford. This is Manchester United versus Manchester City. It is William Kemp versus Pep Guardiola. It simply does not get bigger than this. This to stay in the title race. Manchester United versus Manchester City. Brought to you live. That was way too fun. And straight away, we can see a pattern that we have had in recent matches, and that is dominating the ball. Kicking off this game 10 minutes in, 71% possession against Manchester City. And a lot of that comes down to the deep lying forward, which in today's game is Matheus Cunha. City also playing Bar in the middle centre-back role, which is very interesting. So hopefully we can attempt to exploit him. But it is City on possession right now, and it is Bar on the ball. A wonder kid on this year's game. Finds Bernardo Silva. A great ball over the top to Nico Riley, who takes an effort, which is well saved by Senna Larman. So despite us dominating possession, it is Manchester City with the first highlight. But it doesn't take long for us to get the ball and start to build up, hopefully, an attack with William Pacho on the left-hand side, playing out to Patrick Dorgu. Sets it back to Bruno Fernandes, into William Pacho, stepping up slightly higher. Stiller finds Cunha. Cunha finds Ahmad. A beautiful run. Amad Diallo with a left foot and a save from Gianluigi Donnarumma. But that has been something we have managed to perfect in this tactic, is the Ahmad attacking runs down the right-hand side. And a great ball from Cunha there, just saved from Donnarumma. Now 42 minutes on the clock, another half hour gone in this game. It is Manchester City on the ball with Erling Haaland and Nico O'Reilly linking up. O'Reilly finds the ball through to Phil Foden down the left-hand side, beats his man, chips Labans with a lovely little dink and does put City 1-0 up at Old Trafford, which is not okay. We cannot have this game being a loss. We have to come out of here with a victory. And hopefully we can grab a goal before half-time. A switch out to Ahmad, knocked in to Matheus Cunha, brings the ball down and holds it up. Finds Ahmad down the right-hand side once again, into Mbeumo. Mbeumo on the pitch instead of Sesko today. Finds Ahmad. Ahmad skips past his man, puts the ball in the box. Cunha saved on the line and cleared away. That was like a Trivela cross there from Ahmad, but saved from Donnarumma. And you have to feel like them sort of chances have got to go in a game like this. It's Stiller and Dorgu to the left-hand side. Dorgu whips it in. Nico Paz can't quite get on that one, which eventually takes us in to half-time. Now, we are going to be risky in this match. We simply cannot lose this game, and we are going to move in to our attacking tactic. In possession, a 3-2-4-1. Out of possession, dropping deeper. The wing-backs drop down into the wing-back position rather than playing as wingers. And we are going to make changes as well because we have to see results ASAP. I'm going to bring Cunha on for Dorgu. I'm going to put Nico Paz out as the left wing-back, and we are going to bring Sesko on. I think that is probably the best shout. I suppose in possession, we just have to double check we are getting this all right. And I think that is how it's going to roll. It is. Nico Paz is going to have a job out there defending on the left-hand side against their right winger. But we need to start going for this game, and it has to happen fast. We have a free kick in the 46th minute, straight from half-time. We're going to go short into Brian Mbeumo, back to Bruno Fernandes to find Nico Paz. Paz on the ball, swings one out to the back post to Lenny Yoro down the line. Lenny Yoro drives in, has an effort, and once again, it just doesn't fall into the back of the net. City are getting the rub of the green right now. Nico Paz on the ball, sitting quite deep, finds Pacho. But that's the highlight, and nearly a goal once again, but off the line from City. It is Erling Haaland on the ball with a lot of space out on the left-hand side for Marmoush to drive into. He goes to the corner, nearly won back, but Marmoush wins the ball back again. Finds Alvaro to Nico O'Reilly, back to Alvaro, into Marmoush, back to Alvaro. A long-range effort, never going to go in from there. But 65 minutes on the clock, we're not scoring goals. We have now made changes with Mbumo and Stiller coming off. And it's Nico Paz now on the right-hand side, finding Sesko to score to make it 1-1. We also switched to very attacking, and that pushed through a goal. And it's Big Ben Sesko opening the box, finding a bit of space and putting it in the back of the net and getting Paz in his favoured position on the right-hand side, being able to be dangerous. As Bruno Fernandes a lovely ball into Ahmad, who finds Nico, and Sesko had to score from there, and he does. And we have a highlight straight away from that as well. It's a corner ball whipped in, and Donnarumma claims. And City are going to attempt to build out from the back with Rico Lewis finding Francisco Trincao, who is a joke on FM26. A long ball forward, and Haaland is in behind. You never want to see that. We managed to push him wide, luckily, but he sets it in to Konrad Laimer, who scores to make it 2-1, and City react straight away, and we are back a goal down. And the game has descended into pure chaos in this second half. Mason Mount with a random ball whipped in there, but City do head clear, and it's Marmoush who can take it down the left-hand side. Finds Lima into Mateus Nunes. Bruno steps up and misses his man, but it goes out to Trincao on the right-hand side. He can score from anywhere. He hits the post, and we manage to get it clear. 85 minutes on the clock. Bruno Fernandes switches it out to Mason Mount, who's now playing as the left winger / left wing back. Whips it in. Sesko heads. And it's another goal for Benjamin Sesko off the bench. Mason Mount with the cross saying, "Gaffer, why won't you start me more?" And I'm sorry, Mason. Maybe I should, because that is an outrageous cross on his right foot. Heads it into the back post. And Benjamin Sesko is there to beat everyone to the ball and head us back onto level terms. With 5 minutes to go, we have a chance. Or does City have a chance to take the lead? We have kept it on very attacking. Marmoush on the ball. Can we win it back? Can we get possession back and hit them on the counter? It's Bar finding Diaz. Back into Bar. Press him. Press Lima. Don't let him out. Mateus Nunes. Erling Haaland. Manchester City do not take the lead. A great save from Larmans. Oh, the clock whittling down now. The 92nd minute. Are we going to see one last roll of the dice? We are going to see a highlight, and it's pegged in our own box. I would take a draw. I will be devastated with a loss. It's Trincao, headed clear by Mainu, but only as far as Rico Lewis. Whips it in. Haaland, back post. Disallowed goal. Offside, pushed his man. Disgusting. Erling Haaland, vile. Still 2-2. Just about. And that is going to be the final whistle in this game, which does mean we are 11 points off Arsenal at the top of the league. But a draw against Manchester City is never something to grumble at. A proper tie, that one. A proper Old Trafford derby. And I can't be angry at the boys for that. It's a 2-2 draw against Manchester City. Now, I'm not sure what games we've got left in terms of our first half of the season. We've got 3 games. Palace away, Liverpool away, and West Brom at home. There is some monster clashes before we get to January, which is where we're going to make some more signings and where I'm going to bring you guys back for, where instantly we have Arsenal at home, which, I mean, could be us either having a title charge or Arsenal running away with the league. So we might play that one as well, or we might, depending on how results go over these next 4 games, we might play the round of 16 of the Champions League instead in this episode, if the Premier League is written off by the time we get to this Arsenal game. I'm going to go through, play these next 4 matches, and see how things go. But I'll be honest, I'm not the most confident. And after defeats at Selhurst Park and at Anfield, I was pretty sure this Premier League season was done. Despite us then beating West Brom 6-3 with a hat-trick from Benjamin Sesko after going 2 goals up against Leeds, we drew 2-2 with an 83rd minute equaliser. And once again, I just had nothing to bring on in this game. Gonzalo was awful. Mason Mount didn't bring anything in this one. And the midfield just, we couldn't create any chances. So that pretty much means it's going to be impossible for us to lift the Premier League trophy next year. Well, this year even, sorry. We are now halfway into the league. 11 points away is Arsenal. And they are our next game. And purely because I don't know what else I would show in this episode other than me making another signing, I am going to play this Arsenal game live with you guys to see if we can pull back our Premier League season. Then I'm going to go through January, playing myself, attempting to sign some players just to get us a chance. Because there's some things that I'm just not happy with at the moment. I don't know. There has definitely been an update to FM since the last time I played. Maybe tactically I need to change things around just a little bit. But Sesko's been really good up front. We played Gonzalo last game because Sesko was tired, and I've got this big Arsenal game, and I was thinking, we can beat Leeds with whatever team we put out. Apparently not. We were rubbish in that game. Obviously stuck 2 goals past them and then just done absolutely nothing. So it's been a very, very weird Premier League season. I've really enjoyed the Premier League season, the last season. This one just feels annoying. I just can't get anything going. I'm going to look at potentially bringing in a left back to replace Dorgu / Araujo. I think Dorgu's just not good enough to be a starter. I think centre-backs wise, I'm absolutely happy with De Ligt, what they called Euro and Pacho. They're absolutely fine. Larmans has been quite bad this season, a 6.82. It's just a case of him growing. Obviously, we haven't really got time for him to grow because this is a 2-season challenge and we have 6 months left. And in the midfield, we've got Garner and Mainu are both, unhappy and asking for more game time. They're getting more game time and they're not doing anything. I mean, even Bruno this year is 6.93. Cunha have been quite poor. And Mbumo's been injured. A weird season. A very, very weird season. And this next game against Arsenal is going to confirm or give us a tiny bit of hope that the Premier League could still come to Old Trafford. It is on the 1st of January, so we won't have any idea on signings just yet. But that game is going to be huge. We could be about to see the greatest January transfer window of all time with deals already lined up. But first, it's Manchester United versus Arsenal, led by Gyökeres. Manchester United led by Sesko. And Arsenal will lead the Premier League. And if Manchester United want any hope of lifting a Premier League this season, it has to be a victory today at a snowy Old Trafford. Can the Old Trafford faithful get United over the line for a victory against Arsenal? And the first highlight is going to be a Manchester United corner. It's Bruno Fernandes whipped in, Timber headed away. It drops out to Ahmad, into Bruno. Bruno, the captain of the club. Can he show some magic today? Ahmad, Bruno, Dorgu, into Stiller, who puts it wide. It looks like another Manchester United set piece then. It is Bruno Fernandes with a ball into the back post. De Ligt unmarked. Lenny Euro. Oh, that just has to be a goal. But sadly, no breakthrough in the first half and a very boring first half as well. 0-0. And we need a bit of magic in this second half. And some of the players we're signing in January will provide that magic. It could even be slightly controversial when it comes to moving from one club to Manchester United. In the past it's been done, but rarely does it work. This time I think it could. Like I said, before we get there, it is highlights time, and Leymans does come and clear the ball. Ahmad flicks it on, but it is Zubimendi finding Saka down the right hand side, cuts on that left hand shot. My God, still 0-0. I thought that substitution was a goal and an unbelievable finish from Saka, but not quite. 60 minutes on the clock, nearly time to make some changes, but not just yet. What happens in this highlight could decide. William Pacho on the ball, spreads it out wide to Dorgu, into Mateus Cunha. Cunha, can he beat his man? He does. Cunha in the box again. Cunha, someone put it in the back of the net. Oh my God, every single game at the moment, I'm having shots cleared off the line, and that is another. And once again, we need to go to the bench to make changes, and I don't see much other than Mbumo for Nico Paz. I'm going to bring on Mainu for Stiller, and we're going to take off Dorgu for Araujo, which will most likely be his last game for the club. Euro also not had a great game. Mazraoui will come in on that position, but Cunha and Sesko, Shea Alesi and Gonzalo are not going to cut it. So players are coming in them areas. Now, thankfully, after them subs, we do have a highlight. And in my opinion, a stonewall penalty as Gabriel has just picked up Sesko, tackled him onto the floor. And there's no doubt it's a penalty. I saw it inside the... It's not a penalty, it's a free kick. Jared Gillett, he's rigged it. I'm telling you now, Arsenal have paid him off. We do have another highlight, but it could be Arsenal's unless we can gain possession here, and we do. Mainu to Ahmad, to Mbumo, back to Ahmad, into Mbumo, into Mainu, into Mbumo. Sesko, get onside, son. Cross the ball! Oh, can't believe we're not going to win this game. This last hour and a half me playing FM has been the most frustrating hour and a half I've had so far on FM26 because we cannot score goals unless it's West Brom, and even then we concede 3. It is Arsenal, a long ball forward, but a header from Pacho, and we do have possession again. Straight to Mbumo, into Sesko, into Ahmad. This has to be a goal. Ahmad whips it off the line again! Oh my God! It's the 92nd minute. Manchester United, keep your Premier League dreams alive. We have to score. We are on very attacking. If we lose, we lose. It doesn't matter. Saka, Savic, Lookman, Havertz. It's 1-0 Arsenal, and we have just crumbled to the fact we can't put the ball in the back of the net. This has been such a good series, and we have crumbled in this episode. And everything we've done has come undone. We are now 8th in the Premier League, 32 points. And Arsenal go 11 points clear of us. I can't believe we haven't won that game. I can't believe we have just managed to lose another bit of ground. They are 14 points clear. The Premier League is wrapped up. We are not lifting it. We will finish this series of Liverpool with more trophies in the Premier League than Manchester United. Not the Premier League, just the First Division, of course. I need to delve into this transfer market, and there is outgoings happening. If we just check out the transfer activity right now, without spoiling the incomings, we have got two £50 million bids for Mason Mount, who, despite last season being one of our best players, this season has been absolutely awful in a 6.74. And despite being a good signing, to be honest, Araujo signed for how much? £24 million, is now looking to go to Saudi for 28.5. So a bit of profit on him. 18 games over a season. He's good, and I really like him as a backup to Dorgu, but Dorgu hasn't progressed. So Dorgu's got to go to the backup, and I've got to bring in a superstar there. And well, just a day later, we could either win over the fans with our very own welcome to Manchester, or we could be hated. But Jack Grealish is joining Manchester United for £23 million. Now, this could be a stroke of genius. Jack Grealish is a fantastic player at beating a man. He's got the technical ability to provide assists, and I think he could be brilliant for just 23 million. Last season, the game at Everton, done really well. Has gone back to City, 3 goals in 2 games, was transfer listed. £22 million for Jackie G. Let me know what you think about that in the comments down below, because I always thought Grealish could have been a brilliant player for Manchester United before moving to City, because he takes on his man. He can beat players repeatedly. He's great on the ball. He's great to watch. He's got the personality. And you go to Man City and you lose that. But we're going to try and bring that out of him again at 31. We do indeed confirm the sale of Araujo to Saudi for 28.5 million. Before bringing in another attacking option, but it's not my main striker I'm bringing in, is Alejandro Gomez Rodriguez. Now, I need to accept this deal so you guys can understand why, because he is 13 million and he's an English young striker / cam / winger. So he fits every single bill that we need, but his stats don't do justice when you can't see them all, because this guy is an absolute baller. Good finishing, good composure, good physicals, great decision making, great determination. He's got the strength, he's got the determination, he's got the decision making, and he comes in from Lyon, and he always does really well over there. Last 2 seasons, 7 goals in the second team, but 8 games this season for a 6.7. Not quite as good as I've seen him in some other careers I've had on this game so far. But for 13 million, a young English prospect comes into the club. But don't worry, because there is a big striker coming in. But before that, we have yet another player coming in and them attacking midfielder positions. And it's the loan signing of Yakumba Minte coming in from Brighton, costing us just 725,000. And as we know, this guy just offered us pure speed off the bench, which is something I think we lack off the bench. Unless, if Mbumo's on the bench and Paz starts, yes, we have it off the bench. If Mbumo starts and Paz is on the bench, I find we have no pace to bring on. Yakumba Minte can be my pacey, pacey option off the bench. Turning our attention to the left-back position, I have signed El Hadji Malik Diouf from West Ham, who got relegated down to the Championship last season, even though he had a fairly good year. This year, once again in the Championship, learning the trade, and has another good year. Now, I think this guy is a remarkable step up on Dorgu, on FM, purely because 16 crossing, great speed, great determination, good decision making, and defensively better. And he has cost me £40 million, which we've just supplemented by the sale of Mason Mount, leaving to join Al Ittihad for £50 million. I am getting some simply ridiculous offers this window. Seni Larmans, there is lots of deals coming in from Saudi, and I've now had 2 offers, one from Bayern, one from Ahmad, for £115 million. No, he's not going. He's Ahmad and he's staying at United, but them offers are absolutely crazy. I'm going to loan out Alejandro Gomez Rodriguez because, as you guys know, this save is a personal save for me as well. I will play it after the save is done and probably do like a full-on rebuild of this save at the end of it, like in a few weeks' time. But for me, I like him a lot. I've loaned him out to Birmingham, and now I've signed my striker, which sorts that issue out because John Duran joins the club on loan from Saudi, and I think that's a fantastic deal for him and Yakuba Minte. £1.5 million overall, and for the second half of this season, we've got John Duran, who is a 16 finishing, 13 composure, speed demon with 3 traits that are moves at the channels, cuts inside from both wings, and runs the ball often, which on FM is very overpowered, while being a big boy as well. And I think that's something I've missed off the bench. Gonzalo is not that. He's a little deep lying forward. John Duran is not that, and he comes in on loan. I'm not paying him 300k. I'm paying him 120 out of his 300k a week contract, which I think is very, very good, to be honest. And that is probably me done for the January window, which it is mental because I've just done so much in such a short space of time. I need to actually get my head around what has just happened. And now I think I can happily say that I am ready for this second half of the season, not to go out there and win the league, but to try and challenge the Champions League. And obviously, depending on registration rules, I won't be able to bring in all of these players, but having someone like Duran that I can play in the Premier League, so Sesko can play in the Champions League, having Minte off the bench in the Premier League, so Mbumo can play in the Champions League without issues, and then Jack Grealish is going to be someone that plays a lot of games because I want to see if I can have my own Carlos Tevez. I want to see if Jack Grealish can be my welcome to Manchester. And that is going to be the storyline for episode number 7. Now, I'm going to go through and play January. We're going to have some highlights. We're hopefully going to qualify in the top 8 of the Champions League and bring you guys back when it's all said and done. And hopefully we've had a much better January after that pretty dismal end to December and start to January. And when it didn't feel right to have at least one Champions League game in this episode, so we will go away to AC Milan and see if we can pick up a victory in a must-win clash, because this will effectively qualify us for the round of 16, which would be a huge victory based on how this season has gone. And can I just say how beautiful the Champions League presentation looks on FM26 here in the San Siro. The iconic music in the background, the Champions League ball in the middle. It looks incredible as well. And of course, all the licensing ready for this huge crunch clash. Manchester United, AC Milan, two of the biggest clubs in the land, face off in the Champions League. Now, due to registration rules, none of the new lads can play in this game, but they have pretty much all played for the club already in against the games against Newcastle and Sheffield United. So this is just the standard team, so none of my new signings are here. And, oh God, I was already wishing one of them maybe already was, but it's fine because Larmans has saved us. And as things stand, it is still 0-0. But AC Milan look to be the team on the threaten, and Kunku with a free kick hits the post, and oh my God, we keep it at 0-0. Good Lord. And it is AC Milan on the ball once again, but the high press of Manchester United, could we stop them from getting out, or will it be one pass or a Bruno Fernandes tackle which sets them through? And Kunku, a ball through to Samuel Ricky, and he hits the post. It's got to be said, AC Milan have started this game very, very well. For a team on 9 points in the Champions League after 6 games, I was expecting a much easier game, but maybe I'm underestimating the Italian giants. It is Ricky finding Nkunku. Great ball through to Pulisic. We're lucky to still be drawing. Bruno Fernandes with the corner for Manchester United. 37 minutes on the clock. Headed clear. Drops to Cunha. Can he beat a man? Yes, he can. Mateus Cunha puts it wide of the mark. Nico Paz down the right-hand side. Tries to find Bruno, and he does. Bruno, though, poor pass, and it is going to be Euro heading the ball back to Stiller. Into Ahmad. Ahmad, great ball down the line. Nico Paz, drill it across. He does. Too close to the keeper. And I've not seen a single highlight in the second half until I started speaking, of course. And we are now 89 minutes into this game, which is pretty insane. I would take a 0-0 draw in this game, as much as it wouldn't be very entertaining for the video. But a win would be even better. I have got some youngsters on, including Chido Obi, who had a chance to make it 1-0 in this game. But sadly, he pokes over, and with 5 minutes left to go, I've tried to show an extra game for a bit more entertainment. It looks like FM had other ideas, as this game is going to fizzle out to a 0-0 draw. Now, for our Champions League qualification hopes, that's not bad. We have got home to Club Brugge up next, who are currently 30th on 4 points. We should be able to get a victory in that one. And let me show you the other victories we've just had. Because before that draw, we have won all 3 games we have played so far. One in the FA Cup against Tranmere, which was a 3-1 win, so no surprise really. And then this one away from home against Newcastle, where Brighton Mbeumo opens the scoring in 41 minutes after a deflection from a Stiller shot. Onana parrying the ball. What a surprise. But it was that man, Brighton Mbeumo, once again, who scored to make it 2-0 in this game. And it was all starting out from the back, which we absolutely love to see. Ahmad on the ball, finds Mbeumo. Mbeumo now turns and drives the Newcastle defence, sets it inside. Sesko. And we are, in fact, going to finish this video off with some lovely goals and a victory over Club Brugge, securing our place in the top 8 in the Champions League phase, which is a very successful first half of the season, considering this year is all about winning the Champions League. So while the Premier League might not be coming back to Old Trafford, we have set ourselves up in the best possible way so that I don't have to give away another copy of FM26 because, well, they're quite expensive. And I've already given away one in this series because Sesko let me down. Can the whole club band together and help me? As today, they showed that. A nice 3-0 victory over Club Brugge. And it was good to see because we played some lovely football in this game. And it was the team which, started out this season. While it looks like Club Brugge are on a counter-attack, we're actually going to gain this ball back and go up there ourselves from winning this back with a high press, which we have managed to implement in this team, which is really good, and why I really love the Ruben Amorim tactic that we have built. We have managed to be defensively sound. We have managed to counter-attack teams. We have managed to be dangerous to pretty much anyone on the pitch. A ball through now into Nico Paz, who's leading the line in this one in the 85th minute. Drives through and finishes home for that 3rd goal, and a convincing victory. And you know, I'm very happy with that. To win this game means, like I said, top 8 football. And considering how January could have gone, it's not the end of the world, because the end of December was looking very, very bad. We did just draw 2-2 against Aston Villa. A brace from James Garner and a brace from Ollie Watkins shares the points in this one, which means it's actually not all over in the Premier League either, because we are 11 points behind with 14 games to go, which is a lot, but it's not impossible. It's really not. And I think we've already played some big teams already. We've got Fulham, Spurs, Brentford, Chelsea, Wolves. I mean, other than Chelsea, I could see us winning every game there. Leeds and West Brom win every game there. Ipswich win that game. And then we have City, Liverpool, Brighton, Everton, Bournemouth, Forest to finish the season. And of course, in that, we should hopefully have some huge Champions League games, and that will be the finale of this Manchester United FM26 beta save. And I've got to say a massive thank you, because the support on this series has completely outdone anything I ever thought a Let's Play kind of series could do, and it's made me realise that we are 100% going to do multiple of these kind of things. Unemployed to Champions League, Moneyball from nothing to the best team ever, youth to golds. We're going to do so many of them this year as well, and I've really found a passion in this kind of recording, so thank you so much for supporting it. It has been brilliant, and I really am thankful. So without further ado, let's end the penultimate episode of the Manchester United beta save, and so I'll see you guys next time for the finale. We are back for the final episode of the Manchester United save, where our challenge is to win the Champions League within 2 seasons, or I have to give away a copy of FM26. And we're there now. We are in the round of 16 of the Champions League, and I think it's only right we play every single Champions League game in today's video to attempt to lift it. And we've also had a big upturn in form as well in the Premier League, so we can't write that off just yet. So let's get you guys up to date and then finish off the Manchester United FM26 save, where hopefully we can become Champions League winners. And of course, for a time like this, we are wearing the Sir Alex Ferguson 1999 Umbro coat, not the suit. So let's go. Now, when we left things last time out, we were doing rubbish in the Premier League, but since then, we managed to win 4 in a row, including this 1-0 victory against Chelsea at Stamford Bridge. And the whole reason is the amount of squad depth we have been able to implement into this team now because of our January signings. I think in the summer, I didn't concentrate on that enough, but now we've got the ability to rotate different players, start different wingers, and feel confident we can score goals. Well, it's made a huge difference. And literally 1 minute after Matheus Cunha came on in this game against Chelsea, he was linking up the play for a ball goes out wide to Patrick Dorgu. He's then going to find Matheus Cunha in the middle as he peels off into this little half space. And he's going to score a lovely goal. Bruno Fernandes eventually finds him. Matheus Cunha beats his man, sticks it in to the top corner. And like I said, that wasn't the only victory. We beat Fulham 2-0, we beat Spurs 3-0, we beat Hull in the FA Cup 6-2, which of course we are in with a chance of winning, so the treble is still on. We beat Brentford 2-1 away from home, and of course beat Chelsea, and I was pretty confident that the Premier League could actually come to us, and then we lost to Wolves at home 1-0, which was a real shame, because I did rotate quite heavily, because we've got a Champions League game against Athletic Bilbao, who are a round of 16 opponents, away from home up next. After that, we've got Arsenal in the FA Cup away from home, so that dream could die quite quickly as well, before then going back to Bilbao and attempting to get to the Champions League quarterfinals. But if you eagle-eyed people were looking, you may have seen a couple of brand new signings I also made on deadline day. That guy Welbs is back at Manchester United as a 4th choice striker. I do not hate this signing in the slightest. £1 million, retiring at the end of the season. He knows what it's like to be a Manchester United player. He loves Manchester United, I'm sure of it. He played 1 game in the FA Cup, scored and got an assist as well against Hull. And it's beautiful to see Welbeck back at Manchester United. And the other signing was a deadline day bargain of just £14.5 million for 23-year-old centre-back Beraldo, who again looks absolutely fantastic. Now for £14.5 million, as someone with probably 4-star potential realistically with the game time to come in and be our 5th, 6th choice centre-back rather than having Aiden Heaven, who I've managed to send out on loan, this makes a big difference to our second half of the season, where we're again able to be competitive in every single competition. So in the Premier League, with 9 games to go, we are 10 points off the top, which sounds like a lot, but with the form we've recently been on, we could have a chance. How good this would be to be sitting in 5th place on 53 points if we could just beat Wolves, who are down in 15th, and that win has annoyed me so much. I had to actually turn the game off, go to bed, and wake up today rather than record because I was so frustrated with that 1-0 loss after our ridiculously good form. But today is all about the Champions League, because as you guys know, if I do not win the Champions League, I have to give away a copy of FM26 to one of the guys in the comments from the first episode, which I would announce on a channel post within sort of 4 or 5 days of the series finishing if I don't win the Champions League. So make sure you subscribe to the channel so you can see if you win the copy. And if you haven't yet commented on episode 1, go over there and just put finale in the comments. I want to see how many people come from episode number 7. The support on this series has been absolutely insane. A massive thank you. Without further ado, let's go to the San Mamés and beat Bilbao. Atletico Bilbao setting up in their 4-2-3-1 with star player Oihan Sanchez in the camera, with Manchester United in their new look 3-4-3 under Ruben Amorim in a Champions League knockout game. It is Athletic Bilbao versus Manchester United. It feels a bit like a Europa League tie, so we've been nice with the round of 16 opponents. Or am I going to say that way too quickly and Bilbao batter us? Well, I certainly hope that is not going to be the case, and with defensive work from Stiller like that and stopping them nice and early, I believe we could have a good chance. We are 20 minutes in this game, and it is Bruno Fernandes with a ball out wide to El Hadji Malik Diouf. A great ball down the line to Cunha across. Ben Tesco is there. It's 1-0. 21 minutes in. 6 in 9 for Sesko, was carried on his goal-scoring form, and we already have a lead against Bilbao. Bilbao attempting to get a goal back from a free kick, going short to Sanchez, a long shot, and Larmans tips it wide. Bruno Fernandes with the corner, whips it in to the back post. William Pacho is there, and it's 2-0 in 37 minutes in the first tie away from home. We could whitewash Bilbao and see ourselves straight into the quarterfinals. If we get one more goal in this game, I'm pretty sure that's going to be the case. So let's see what we can do in this second half then. Stiller with the corner, whipped in, Delict, back post, it's 3-0. Bilbao, they're out of the Champions League already. Another goal here for Manchester United really would wrap this tie up. And a high press of Cunha is trying to win that ball back. Aymeric Laporte on it on the left-hand side. The high press from Paz, but a great ball through to Goretzka to get this tie back with some sort of hope. But a big save from Cedar Larmans keeps it at 3-0. And with now 81 minutes on the clock, Bilbao have not managed to create another chance. But it's 4-0 Manchester United. 3 goals from corners. That one from Lenny Yoro. And the round of 16 is all but finished. I think the Fergie coat is making a big difference to our performance. It's got to be said. 4-0 in the first leg means this second tie at home, we are going to not show you guys live because, well, we're through to the quarterfinals now without a catastrophic L. But can we try and get through in the FA Cup to the next round as well? Sadly, we won't be emulating Fergie's treble as we lose 1-0 to Arsenal, which is really annoying. I heavily rotated for this game because of the fact of the Champions League, and we've got the players to do so, and a lot of them are very tired from that Champions League game. I mean, we win 4-0. You're doing a lot of work. Even then, only a 1-0 defeat. Still frustrating. Second half, Gyökeres broke the defence and made it 1-0 to win them this game. But that's fine because while the treble would have been nice, it was an added bonus and also very unlikely we win the Premier League. What we have to do is win the Champions League, which we have a decent chance of doing. We have just drawn 1-1 at home, a late goal from Ahmad, but again, a heavily rotated side to ensure no injuries in this game, but seeing us off into the quarterfinals in the Champions League, where it looks like we're facing Real Madrid. That is just not ideal. Yeah, I mean, Madrid are quite a good team, aren't they? First division top, 70 points. Mbappe's on an 8.54. Sorry, what? We are going to get absolutely cooked, aren't we? By Xabi Alonso's team here. Vinicius Jr., 22 goals, 14 assists. Mbappe, 22 and 23. Bellingham, 20 and 9. Gula, 12 and 7. They're not even using poor Franco, who I'd love to have in this team. Madrid up next. Wow. But of course, the Premier League is not over just yet. And for the final time in this series, I would like to watch us absolutely batter Leeds. It happens every season in real life, and it's happened once again here. An early goal from Matthias de Ligt from a set piece for Ahmad finds the back stick. It gets cleared out to Matheus Cunha. And there's been someone throughout this whole series that has been incredibly impressive. It is our number 30, our striker, Benjamin Sesko. And he showed that once again in this game with, guess what? Another hat-trick. I can't remember how many he's had this season, but it's at least 6 or 7. He has been insane, the amount of goals this guy has scored. Last season, nearly reaching 30. I am quite confident that with the extra Champions League games that we've got this season, he will reach 30 in all competitions. He has been absolutely brilliant for us this year, and he was the same last year as well. Now, the highlights are a little bit longer in the replays at the moment, so I do just want to take a chance to say a massive thank you once again for the support on this series, and it has really inspired me to do more sort of 5, 6, 7 part series on the channel over the next few months, and really going on into the future, having a bit more storytelling to what we do here on the channel, whether that's going to be unemployed to Champions League winners or youth to golds. Let me know what you want to see in the comments down below. And of course, once we eventually work out how Moneyball can work on FM26, we will bring that back once again, because that was a big feature on FM24 and I really enjoyed it, so I want to work it out on FM26 once again. But it's been an insane series so far, this Manchester United one. And not only that, but an insane start to the FM26 journey as well. The game's been out for just over a week now. The game is fully released as this video comes out, and I hope you guys are enjoying it. I've had so much fun on the beta, and I cannot wait for the stuff that's going to come out over the next few weeks. But that was a 4-0 victory over Leeds. We also managed to beat West Brom 3-1 away from home, and with a fully rotated side, beat Ipswich 2-0 at home, meaning another 3 wins on the bounce. So we are up 2/3 in the Premier League with a game in hand for City and Arsenal and the rest really, but 59.7 points of the league, 6 games to go for us. It's looking unlikely the Premier League comes back to us, but at least it's not going to be Liverpool's. It's probably also not going to be Arsenal's, is it? City are going to win the league again. Not great for us, but we'll keep going. We'll try, but of course we have to turn our attention to the Champions League and, well, the best team on the game, in my opinion, Real Madrid. If we can somehow get through these, we have a chance. Just to look into the schedule as well, we've got Real Madrid, Manchester City, Real Madrid, Liverpool. So this is a make or break spell of games in the middle of April. Luckily, we've got effectively no injuries whatsoever. A couple unregistered. And Mbappe's out injured, at least for the first game. That is huge. So how will Real Madrid line up without their talisman? Well, don't worry, they'll stick Rodrigo out on the left, Bellingham out on the right, and stick Arda Güler in Cam. They're not going to struggle too much without Mbappe. We are playing our defensive system in this game. The goal is simply to come back to Old Trafford with a chance. We are at the Bernabeu against the best team on the game. It is Real Madrid versus Manchester United. It does not get bigger than this. This is why we love the Champions League. This is why Manchester United deserve to be in the Champions League. It is nights like this at the Bernabeu, led out by Lenny Yoro, Senelammans in goal, Sesko leading the line, and hopefully we can prove ourselves today in the Champions League against Real Madrid. United, United, United. First highlight, it is Lenny Yoro on the ball with a high press of Xabi Alonso's Real Madrid. But Mbeumo finds the ball into Sesko, finds Mazraoui, who's playing in the right wing-back role in this game as the more defensive variation, but he whips it into the back post. Cunha with a goal in the 3rd minute. A ball from Mazraoui, a back post header from Matheus Cunha, and we have a lead at the Bernabeu to protect. What a ball from Noussair Mazraoui. Found himself injured so much in this season. We made the decision to play Cunha on the left, and a lovely looping header over Courtois and Militao gives us the lead. We now have something to protect, and we move straight on to the 30th minute Well, Real Madrid have only had 2 shots in this game. We have only had 1. We have managed to make it a boring affair at the Bernabeu, which is exactly what we want. But El Hadji Malik Diouf down the left-hand side, whips it into the back post. Benjamin Sesko, crossbar, Mbeumo, off the line! Oh, it was such a big part of last episode not being able to finish chances in the 6-yard box. And once again, we have it there to give ourselves a 2-goal lead, but somehow the ball doesn't go in. And would you look at these stats to kick the game off? Madrid with 1 shot, us with 5. We are, you know, not dominating, but we are frustrating Real Madrid. One of the best teams in the world. But can they eventually put the ball in the back of the net? It's Jude Bellingham. Diouf, fantastic signing, fantastic challenge, less fantastic clearance. Nathan Ake on the ball. Finds Rudiger, into Camavinga, to Trent, ball over the top, Rodrigo, can he keep it on? He can, with a sublime touch, drops it back in, and Arda Güler is there for his 9th goal in 10 matches, and Madrid out of nothing but pure brilliance from Rodrigo, level the tie up just before half-time, and the half-time whistle does go. I cannot be angry with that. For this second half, it is simple, be defensive, be resilient, go back to Old Trafford with a chance. And what a second half performance it has been for exactly that. Keeping them quiet and not allowing them any chances. But of course, as soon as I speak, it is the 82nd minute and Real Madrid are knocking the ball about. It is Arda Güler finding Brahim Diaz on the left-hand side. Back into Güler. Ball switched over to Jude Bellingham. He is going to be dangerous. Sets it in. Güler blocked off the line by Harry Maguire. A change I brought on literally 2 minutes ago. And the Englishman is there to stand on the line and block the ball. When you're defending a lead or, you know, defending something, Harry Maguire could be one of the best players in the world at doing exactly that. But Real Madrid might not be done. Valverde, Connor Bradley, long range effort over the bar. We are on full time waste and frustrate mode. And with 2 minutes to go, Madrid have a highlight. Güler, please, no. Don't do it. Don't do it on the set piece, Arda. Sets it into Vinny. Oh, 11-11. And Madrid get the goal to put them ahead in this tie, which means at Old Trafford, we are going to have to attempt to go for it. I'm not going to go crazy. We're not going to use the attacking formation. But a 2-1 loss at the Bernabeu, I cannot be angry at. We come away with that with our heads held high and a chance in this tie in the home leg at Old Trafford. You never know what can happen. And of course, in between the Real Madrid tie, we had our away game against Manchester City, which we couldn't rest for because if we do that, we throw away the Premier League, which, I mean, we've drawn 0-0 away from home against City. Again, in the defensive tactic for most of this game, switched into the in possession, more advanced in sort of the 80th minute, but sadly couldn't get a goal. Asena Larmans was 7.5. But that pretty much for me wraps up the Premier League because a victory there would have given us a real chance. But to draw against them, it doesn't mean we close the gap. So with just, I think, 5 games to go now in the Premier League, it is looking like it's done. City, 8 points clear of us. Arsenal, 2 games in hand. Top 4 would still be nice. Manchester United at home in a Champions League quarter-final against Real Madrid. Real Madrid with a 2-1 lead after the first leg. And their star player, Kylian Mbappe, back in the team this time. Manchester United cannot afford to sit back in this one. Like the first leg and frustrate Madrid, they need to take the authority in this game. Go and grab the goals, especially an early goal in this game. Could see the tie set up beautifully for the second half. Will this be the end of the Manchester United save? Will this be where I have to give away a copy of FM26? Or will we perform another Champions League miracle as Manchester United and beat Real Madrid? We haven't exactly seen anything. An early goal, an early chance, nothing. We are now half hour into the game. And if Nico just passed the ball to Ahmad, we could have a chance here as Ahmad finds Nico Paz. Drill it into Sesko. Drill it into Bruno Fernandes, who hits the crossbar. That was a save from Courtois. That is outrageous. It is now going to be Real Madrid with possession. It's Eder Militao on the right-hand side, fighting Fede Valverde. A goal here for Madrid would really hurt our chances. Mbappe on the left-hand side. Stop him. Stop him. Larmans stops him. Thank you, Seni Larmans, our super goalkeeper. But Mbappe down the left-hand side could have other thoughts. Back into Antonio Rudiger to find Ake. Back to Rudiger. Back to Ake. Madrid keeping possession in this one. Oh, I thought it was going to be the counter-attack, but it's a foul from Cunha, you idiot. Oh, that could have been incredible. Ahmad with the ball on the right-hand side. Finds Bruno Fernandes. Back to Stiller. Into Ahmad. Into Nico Paz. Going left. Going right. Back to Stiller. Bruno. Lenny Yoro. Ahmad. United trying to break down this Real Madrid side. Ahmad does a fantastic job. Finds Stiller to Paz. Stiller. Oh, I thought it was the top bins, but saved by Courtois again. And Madrid now attempting to build out from the back. It is Arda Güler with the ball. Finding Jude Bellingham. Just drifting past Juve, but Pacho was there to stop the advances. Stiller, back to Bruno, back to De Ligt, back to Pacho. A long ball forward, finds Juve. Juve, beat your man, or send a ball to Cunha. Cunha, drill it. Sesko! Sesko! It's 1-0 in the tide. In the first half, we grabbed a goal. That is exactly what we needed to happen. Get the goal, get this tie back on level terms. And it was Matheus Cunha, a low-driven pass into Sesko in the box. We have seen that so many times in this save. And we could have just had the biggest goal yet. Of course, we cannot count out Real Madrid. They are one of the best teams in world football. But that feels like an absolutely massive goal. It's a great ball in there to Vinicius Junior though. And Valverde finds Ake. Well dispossessed there from Sesko. Grab a second, lads. Go on. Sesko, Paz. Ahmad's gone. Ahmad's gone. Find it in the box. Ahmad, beat your man. Do something. Find Stiller. Stiller. What is... a corner. Yes. And it's Amadinho to whip it in. Can we find the United head? We cannot. But it does get brought out to Nico Paz on the left-hand side. And tackled by Mbappe, who's like a prime defender for this Madrid side now. This looks primed for Bruno Fernandes to put his name in lights. A free kick. Edge of the box. Bruno. Saved by Courtois. Pacho finds Juve. Finds Bruno. Dispossessed by Bellingham. Bruno wins it back. Well done, Bruno. A proper captain's performance today already. Cunha. Trent brings him down. Ref gives us a free kick. Juve down the left-hand side. 42 minutes on the clock. Finds a ball. Back post. Paz. That one claimed by Courtois, but on a bad effort. And that could see us into half-time, and it does. I am very happy with how things are going. We are not going to change anything. Match momentum, we can see we are on top. We just need to carry on doing what we're doing and hope we can grab another goal against Madrid. Vinicius Junior with the ball, finding Jude Bellingham, finding Fede Valverde, challenged by Stiller, but it drops to Bellingham. Stiller is there again. And then, oh, Cunha's gone down on the ball, holding something. And Valverde boots it out. Thank you, Fede. I appreciate that. But Cunha is going to have to come off now. As sadly, he looks like he's just ripped his leg off. I mean, it's not told me to change anything, but based on what I just saw, Matheus Cunha cannot carry on this game. Is it Jack Grealish? It's Jack Grealish time. It's Jack Grealish time as a playmaking winger. Go and do some bits in that. No, you know what? No. Hold width on the left-hand side. Do the same as Nico Paz, who is actually going to come off. We're going to bring on our man, Brian Mbeumo, to change the game on the right-hand side as well and go and get another goal for this United side. And that is why we made all of them January signings, because we can change things up in this game. We've got options everywhere. And Mbeumo now down the right-hand side, freshly faced to play up against Nathan Ake. Finds Ahmad. Ahmad. Eventually the ball drops to Stiller. Sesko. Mbeumo. Back to Stiller. Stiller. Long-range effort. Just over the bar. 65 minutes on the clock and it is still all Manchester United. Bruno Fernandes finds Stiller, dispossessed by Camavinga, and Real Madrid can bring the ball clear on a counter, which they are dangerous on. Kylian Mbappe beats Ahmad. Mbappe. Ahmad eventually boots the ball into Rosed. Good defensive work from the young right back. Right winger turned right back as well, remember. Facing up against one of the world's best. Pacho gets it clear, and now we can counter-attack. It's boom, boom, boom. Brian Mbeumo switches the ball. Jack Grealish, name it lights. Jack, no. Jack. Oh, it feels like Titanic. Jack. Oh, I thought that was it. Ahmad with the corner. Claimed by Courtois. Grealish, that was the moment. Is that going to be the big chance to win this game? Real Madrid now down the left-hand side. Mbappe up against Ahmad once again. Gets to the byline. Stiller doubling up on him. We are locking off Mbappe in this game. Trent with the ball for Madrid. Finds Jude Bellingham to find Valverde. And Madrid once again slow the game down. Regain some possession. It is Arda Güler finding Mbappe. Lenny Yoro misses his man. Mbappe only needs one chance, but luckily we've got Super Sen in goal who turns it round the post. Madrid with the corner. It is Mbappe to whip it in, waving his hands up in the air. We know what that means. It means William Pacho wins the header, but Mbappe, Sesko. We absolutely love him, and it stays as 1-0, and the tie is still level. Bruno Fernandes finds Ahmad on the right-hand side. Ahmad, beat your man. Rudiger, that's disgusting. Disgusting. And it looks like we might have a chance from the free kick. It is Stiller with possession. Going short to Grealish. Grealish back to Stiller. Stiller, whip it. What are you doing? We've got so many men in the box, which means we're open to the Real Madrid counter of Kylian Mbappe. What are you doing? Oh, no. Arda Güler. Super Sen. Well done. Ahmad down the right-hand side with his best bud, Brian Mbeumo, linking up. Can them two open up this Madrid side? Lenny Yoro. Ahmad back into Mbeumo. Mbeumo, beat your man. Find Ahmad. He does that instead. Back to Mbeumo. Mbeumo with that dangerous left foot over the bar. I think it is now time for a change. We're going to protect the fact that Juice on the yellow and bring on Dorgu. And past that, I'm not sure. Bruno's very tired, but it's Bruno Fernandes. We can't take him off. Ahmad doing a great job as well. I think Stiller could be someone that comes off for Jimmy Garner, and we will make that change. And with just 10 minutes left to go in this tie, the next goal, if there's a next goal, will be absolutely huge. Yoro, back to Senny Labens. I like it. Don't do anything stupid now, lads. Pacho, Bruno, Sesko, Grealish. Oh, Trent does well. Grealish nearly goes through. And once again, Madrid clear and we regain possession. We are the team on top. Pacho, Grealish, Pacho. Oh, no highlight. What do you mean that was a highlight? Now just 5 minutes to go. It feels like the next goal might not only be incredibly important, but potentially the final one. And Mbappe is open on the left-hand side. Cuts inside, finds Arda Güler. Oh, it's a goal kick. It is a goal kick. Madrid, Camavinga, Pacho, Grealish, Sesko. No. Yes. Jimmy Garner, Bruno Mbeumo, Ahmad. Go. Ahmad, right-hand side. Oh, that would have been magical. That would have been absolutely magical. We hit the post. Ahmad nearly with the goal of the series. Garner, what a ball. Jack Grealish, across. Oh, he's offside. Ahmad, that was insane. Oh, my God. This already feels like a Champions League final, and it's the quarters. Oh, God, there's so long to go in this video still. If you guys are enjoying, make sure you're liking and subscribing. Enough of the YouTube nonsense. Lenny Yoro finds Jimmy Garner. Mbeumo finds Ahmad again, causing issues. Ben Sesko, he's through. Sesko. He was offside. He was offside. Oh, he was offside. Oh. Rudiger and Trent linking up. A goal for Madrid here would break my heart. A goal for Manchester United would make me cry also. And it's Jack Grealish on the ball. Grealish. Oh, Bruno's so offside. He's so offside. We've just scored 2 offside goals in 3 minutes. Oh. That was nearly it. That was this close. And that will probably be the last highlight of the game until extra time. It is the 94th plus 30, and we are wasting time to get into extra time as we believe we can do something in an extra 30 minutes. Yoro, long ball forward, and that is it. We are going to extra time against Real Madrid. We're not going to make any changes just yet in this one. Ahmad and Bruno and Sesko all very tired. We do have Duran, Cobby, and someone else to bring on in the right wing back role, potentially dropping Mbeumo down if we need a goal into that position. But for now, we're not going to change anything. which means this next 30 minutes is going to be crucial. Dorgu finds Grealish. Finds Dorgu, back to Grealish. Grealish, been a menace since he come onto the pitch. Finds Dorgu, whips it in. Sesko, please. No. Garner, well done. Ahmad. Ahmad scores. It's 3 in 9 and we are 2-0 up. Oh, what do I do? We're beating Real Madrid in the quarterfinals. Ahmad cuts in from the right-hand side, beats Tchouaméni, drills it low into the bottom corner, and it's 2-0. And I have no idea what to do. Do I drop deep? Do I keep playing? I think. For the next 10 minutes, we're going to drop deep. We're not going to make any changes, but we're going to drop into our defensive system for the next 10 minutes, get to the second half, and regroup again, lads. We have the ball and we are looking to counter but not do anything silly. Grealish. Hold possession. Find Bruno. Love it. Jimmy Garner. The assist for that goal come from him. Mbeumo. Ahmad. Right hand side. Ahmad whips it. Super Ben. Sesko. Oh, it's off the line. The substitution confused me. Look how close this was. This is going to be ridiculous. Sesko wins it. Hits the inside of the post. Half the ball's over. If you're not a Forest fan, you think that's in the goal based on what I've seen this weekend. Oh, that's so close. Oh. And that is half time in the game. 2-0 up. And I am going to go back to our normal formation. I'm sure I am. I am going to take off Benjamin Sesko for John Duran because he is done out there. And we are going to just do that for now. And as we tick down into time, we will go back to our defensive. And I kind of wish we stayed in the defensive, but I thought it was too negative against a team like Madrid. But we'll see. We've managed to do 90 minutes against them without them scoring in it, so I'm not going to blame the tactical system. Vinny Jr., Rodrigo. I've got the tactics all wrong. The tactics are all wrong. Okay, actually, we never actually changed system. We were in the defensive that whole time. Do I keep Sesko on? I think I have to. I think despite him being battered, Duran hasn't scored for us yet. Sesko is on 28 goals, I think. We have to keep him on. The game's 3-3 in the tie now. Madrid score through Rodrigo of all players. And this game might be decided by penalties. Or will there be one more goal? 115 minutes on the clock. No highlights since the Madrid goal. We are back in our normal system. And the game is going to tick down to the 123rd minute with 30 seconds left in this game. We could be about to see penalties or heartbreak for one of these teams in extra time. Yoro, bring it down. De Ligt. Now send it. Send it. Try something magical. Not that. Ref. Full time against Real Madrid. Over 2 legs. 3-3. It's time for penalties. I've never been more nervous for anything in my life, but this penalty shootout. And Madrid score, and it's Mbappe from the spot first. Bruno Fernandes first for Manchester United. Courtois goes the right way, but Bruno sneaks it home. Real Madrid, of course, with the advantage with taking first. It is Arda Güler up against Lahrmanns. Lahrmanns saves it. Seni Lahrmanns saves a penalty against Real Madrid in the quarterfinals to keep our dreams alive. If Benjamin Sesko scores from 12 yards out, we will take the lead in the tie. Sesko! We are 2-1 up. Vinicius Jr. puts it in the top bins. Lahrmanns is never going to get that one. Great pen from Vinny. Next is Brian Mbeumo, the summer signing in real life. This is why you join Manchester United, Brian. He shows us why we signed him as well. If I was a Real Madrid fan right now, I would not feel confident with Dean Huijsen stepping up with Seni Lahrmanns in the goal. But wowza, what a pen. Fair enough, Big Dean. The next man is a player I put a lot of faith in. I have his 1-of-1 card in real life. It's Jimmy Garner. Please, Jimmy. Jimmy scores it. If Seni Lahrmanns saves the next penalty, we beat Madrid in the Champions League. And it is the goal scorer in extra time, Rodrigo, stepping up. Can we do it? Rodrigo scores. The 5th penalty taker The fifth penalty taker, let me tell you something. At the start of this series, I never would have predicted Jack Grealish would be a Manchester United player. There has been a whole narrative. Jack Grealish. Oh, no way. Oh, Jack Grealish misses the penalty. And Real Madrid are back with a chance. I can't believe Grealish has missed that pen. Larmans, please, you've got to do it again. Oh, and he doesn't. Oh, no. Jackie G. Jackie G. No. Oh, I trusted him. I trusted him so much with that fifth penalty. He had a chance in this game as well. He's only playing because of an injury to Cunha. And now Ahmad has to score to keep us still in the game. Ahmad with the penalty. Saved by Courtois. And Real Madrid go through in the quarterfinals. And we go crashing out. Oh my God, I cannot believe it has come down to that. A Jack Grealish missed. Oh, it was in our hands. But that is our Champions League run done. We are most likely going to end this series without winning the Champions League or the Premier League. And I can't believe that has just happened. Oh, I feel so deflated, but what an effort that has been. And it was time to wrap up the Premier League season and this series. So we drew 2-2 at home to Liverpool before putting 4 past Brighton in a 4-1 victory. We then lost 3-1 to Everton, who have been really good this season, but finished off strong with a 4-0 over Bournemouth and a 3-1 over Nottingham Forest, which does mean we get top 4 football once again in the Premier League. And Liverpool nearly won it. But on the final day of the season, Man City won 6-0 to win on goal difference at the very end of it and lift the title. There was 7 points between us and them. And I can't help but feel about that victory over Wolves, which, of course, we lost 1-0. Potentially that one over Everton could have put us, a lot closer. And potentially with a couple of other results going our way earlier on in the season, where we did start quite poorly, could have won the title this year. And what's even worse is, of course, Liverpool haven't won the Premier League this season, but that doesn't mean they're going to go trophyless, because it was Real Madrid versus Liverpool in the final, and Madrid beat us on penalties, but lost on penalties to Liverpool with a miss from Camavinga, and Liverpool win the Champions League as well. That really hurts. I mean, this series has been so enjoyable, but it has been Liverpool dominating competitions-wise. Now, in terms of goals this season, to wrap things up, Sesko did hit 30 this season, which feels like some redemption for last year. Bruno Fernandes finishes the season with 22 goal contributions. Nico Paz the same with 22. Mateus Cunha with 21. Ahmad with 19. And Brian Mbeumo with 21 goal contributions. In terms of assists, it was led by Mbeumo, Paz and Cunha. And in terms of average rating, it was Sesko, Ahmad, Amir Ibrahimov, Lenny Yoro, Nico Paz, De Ligt and James Garner, all above a 7 average rating. But sadly, that is the series done. So there will be a copy of FM26 given away to someone in the comments of the first episode. So if you haven't done that yet, like I said, go and leave a comment on that video. You could win a copy of FM26, and that'll be drawn over the weekend after this comes out. It's been an absolute pleasure. The Manchester United FM26 beta save finishes off with no trophies this year. A 4th place finish, and sadly no Champions League as well. I hope you guys really have enjoyed. This has been so fun to make, and I'll speak to you guys next time.